Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. There we go. Already we're live, and as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working on the Pawn class in Unreal Engine 5 using C++. That's it. Last stream I did go over the action, and at the end of the stream I did like what's gonna call it? I said to y'all that I would like go into it offline and see how could I actually move my pawn and add a camera to it as well. But I kind of failed at that, guys. I checked like so many videos; they were apparently doing it without the programming part, so I might try that as well today. That's it. Let's go to my gameplay screen. There we go. Okay, and maybe I could go ahead and extend this a bit from here. Yo, Vic, how are you, Matt? Hiding well. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's it. Let me say something like, let's say I'm live, exclamation. And guys, I feel like, whatchamacallit, first, I might actually try it without the coding part as well, because apparently, it's much easier to do without the coding part. Then, after that, we could actually, like, see the reference code type stuff. And guys, if I can't press start properly, that is because I'm not warmed up yet. That is because I'm not warmed up just yet. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and increase this. This is like a new project because I thought to create a new project because I had like so many classes that I didn't use in my previous code. Okay, so let's go to a new project. Now let's get some taste on ChatGPT up here. So there we go. Okay, and wait, give me a sec, guys. Let me actually just fix this real quick. So let's go ahead and do that. So, what up, guys? I forgot to add this in my stream real quick. That you can Okay, there we go. I was just actually adding a poll type stuff because I realized many of you guys think that I don't like have a horizontal stream. So you guys think that I don't like display my entire window type stuff. So it's just adding a poll up there. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now with that said, let's go all the way here. Listen, everyone in the chat, lock in. Today is not about flashy graphics or look, I moved into a camera today. It's about understanding engine, not fighting it. This people is doing what most people skip, learning what a pawn actually is, why it doesn't move automatically, how control, input, and possession really works. Quick question, what are you planning to do after C++? Honestly, I was planning to learn Python as well because eventually I would like be using AI logic type stuff. So I might actually implement Python and C++ in my Unreal type stuff. That said, this people is doing what most people skip, learning what a pawn actually is, what it doesn't move, why it doesn't move actually. Okay, I think I read that part, guys. Unreal Engine is not broken. It is honest. It does exactly what you tell it to do and nothing more. The difference between a master and a novice is that a master has failed more times than a novice has tried, guys. I think Coruscant said this from like Assassination Classroom. That's it. Today we fall forward, break confusion, we churn. Why is nothing moving into I know exactly why. Chat, say sharp pupils, sit straight, we're about to dissect this pawn class properly, no skipping steps. Okay, let me get my Unreal Engine up here. Let's see, hold up guys, I think I opened my, there we go, I opened my OBS by mistake. Okay, so should I go ahead and create a pawn class first or something? Let's get Sensei here and ask a question. Let me say something like, Sensei, so, how to be begin question mark. I created a new project. Should I create a pawn class or what should I do? Question mark. Okay, let's see. Okay, good. Clean stale. That was a smart move, pupil. New project equals to no ghost bugs, no confusion. You're learning. Here's exactly how we begin. No rushing, no skipping. Step 0. Mental reset. Important. Right now we forget cameras, forget movement, forget make it walk. Today's goal is this in one sentence. I understand what a pawn is and why it exists. Honestly, the reason I did like have a specific stream for pawn is because I thought pawn would be like really useful to actually learn about, because eventually I'm going to be adding my AI logic to my pawn type stuff. That's it. If you don't understand that, everything else is a pain. Step 1. Yes, create a pawn class, but listen, in Unreal Engine, file new class pawn. Name it something like test pawn or learning pawn. Why pawn? Actors, something that exists. Pawn, something that can be controlled. Character, pawn with extra options. I did like learn about this part in like yesterday's tutorials that I'm watching like off stream. Basically, actor is a real base class. Pawn is technically an actor that can be controlled type stuff. And character is a pawn which has more features to it. Okay, because I'm pretty sure character has a skeleton as well that like helps us add animation and all that stuff. That said, we start with the pawn because it teaches you the truth, not the training wheels. Step 2, do not add movement yet. When the pawn class is created, do not touch movement, do not touch input, do not touch the camera. Instead, open the .header files and just read it. You should see class your project API, okay, your project underscore API, a test pawn, okay, public pawn. That line alone is a big question. Okay, here's the thing. I do have a question type stuff that should I convert my pawn into like a blueprint class or something like that? Okay, let's see. Let me say something like, let's scroll all the way down. Let me say something like, let's say, when I create a pawn, should I convert it to be a blueprint class question mark? Because usually last stream I did notice if my classes are not blueprint and I exit my Visual Studio or like my Unreal Engine, it doesn't save my stuff type stuff. That's let me just extend my window. There we go. Okay, yes, people, you should. And here's why, without the confusion. This is one of those Unreal truths that saves weeks of pain if you accept it early. A C++ pawn and a blueprint pawn are not enemies, they're partners. Here's the rule you follow from now. C++ equals to brain rules logic, blueprint equals to body visuals tweaking placement. I see. Okay, you write the pawn class in C++, then you create a blueprint that inherits from it. That blueprint is what you place in the level, assign the meshes, add camera components to later, set as default pawn. I think this is why I couldn't actually move or like add a camera to my pawn last stream, because I did not actually add a blueprint. Your raw C++ pawn should almost never be placed directly. I see. This is why this matters, the core idea. Okay, I see. I wish I could help you, lol, but I can't code in C++, but Python ideas sound pretty smart. I hope I'll beat it. Actually, it does make sense. Okay, when you do Python, honestly, once I get a pretty good grasp of Unreal Engine, I will be moving to Python as well. That's it. How you doing, Drug or Drugesh? That pronounce your name. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, now once I'm done with that, let's open my Unreal Engine here. Now, if I were to go to something like tools, create a new class, I want to go ahead and create a pawn class, okay? And then I'm going to hit something like next. I'm going to call it something like, I could go with something like my pawn. Okay, then let's go ahead and create a class. Now, I want to create a blueprint class as well. Okay, so my classes are being created, guys. Okay, let's wait while it's creating. It's adding the project to the code. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay, so I get a window here that says, okay, I'm pretty sure this is like to patch my file. There we go, successfully linked. Now, if I were to go to my Visual Studio and reload all, I have, let's say, two different files. One is a pawn.c++ file and one is my pawns as header files type stuff. That's let me go ahead and maybe exit that as well. Open Unreal Engine. Now, if I were to go to my content drawer, go to C++ classes, my main function. There's my pawn. Let's go ahead and create class derived from my pawn. Create blueprint class based on my pawn. I'm going to be calling this something like pp underscore my pawn. That's like blueprint underscore my pawn. Then I create a pawn class. Okay, yeah, this is the place that I was trying to figure out yesterday on what to do. Okay, is this like a whole window type stuff, guys? Hold up, let me go ahead and get this down here. Oh wait, it's actually not a window. Okay, maybe let's go ahead and get that up there. Let's go ahead and extend that from there. There we go, that's a window. Can I get this like in another tab here? Okay, that's perfect, guys. Can I get my content drawer up here as well? Oh, this actually saves so much time right now because I don't have to always click my content drawer. I just have my tabs up there. Okay, let's go to my input tab real quick. I gotta set my axis mapping, but I'll do that later on. Okay, and this is my blueprint pawn. I have a bunch of nodes here. I don't know how to like use these nodes for now. That said, I have a content browser. I see. Okay, can you continue in the Indian accent, guys? Continue. Honestly, I actually don't have like an Indian accent type stuff. That said, let's see. So I have bp underscore pawn. Right click to create new nodes. So if I right click, I can go ahead and create new nodes. I have a constructor here and I have a viewport here as well. Okay, I think viewport is the place that I actually add my stuffs and all that too. What up, guys? I can't. There we go. So I'm assuming that is my pawn. Okay, do we get close to it by going forwards? There we go. Okay, I think this is how we actually get close to it. There we go. Okay, I created my blueprint class. Now let's get Synthase /ChatGPT up here again. Let me go ahead and say something like, let's say I created a blueprint class. Let's go with something like blueprint class and a regular pawn class. Wait, I think my regular pawn class is converted to a blueprint class. Was it? What up, guys? Let me go to my. So let's go with something like content drawer. Okay, I just have one class. Okay, I have two classes. I have in my contents, I have a blueprint class, and in my main function, I have a pawn class. Now let's get some C slash chat GP up here again. Let's say I created a blueprint class, okay, and a pawn class. I see a viewport. Let's go with something like I see um three tabs. One of them is called viewport. Okay, one of them is called viewport. The second, I forgot the name, but it has nodes, and the third one has one node. Okay, let's see the next thing we gotta do. Okay, good, perfect. This is exactly what this is exactly where it should be, people. You're looking at the soul of Unreal right now. Let me slow this down and name the worlds you're seeing, because once you name it, you control it. The three tabs you see in a pawn blueprint: viewport, the physical body of the pawn. Okay, this does actually make sense. In this tab, you see components, capsules, mesh, camera, later, position things in 3D space, decide what the pawn looks like and where things attach. Right now, it's probably most empty. That's correct. Viewport answers what exists. Event graph. Okay, this is the brain wiring. This is where inputs, events, flow logic, and all that stuff goes. Important truth: the event graph does not create behavior itself. It reacts to events. But I will be doing this in my coding section type stuff. Right now, you probably see event begin, maybe even tick. That's fine. The third is constructor script, the ones with the nodes. This one confuses everyone at first. This runs where the pawn is created or changed in the editor, not during gameplay input, not every frame. It's used for setting up components, editor time logic, visual setup. Right now you'll see just constructor script node, and that's perfectly normal. Okay, say this out loud. A pawn with no components and no possession is just a concept. I see. Okay, let me say something like I see dot dot dot. So, the things that I do in the event graph, can it also be done in my Visual Studio, or would you recommend me to use the event graph? Okay, and also, what is the next thing that I should do? Question mark. Okay, I think I understand what pawns are. I just gotta learn how to like use them type stuff. It's so irritating to see you talking made up tone, guys. Made up tone is actually kind of crazy. Okay, that said, good. Now you're asking the right kind of questions. This question separates button pressers from engine thinkers. Breathe, focus, listen. Event graph versus Visual Studio C++. They're not enemies, they're two hands of the same brain. The truth: anything you do in the event graph can be done in C++. Not everything in C++ should be done in the event graph. Oh, I see. Okay, anything you do in the event graph can be done in C++. Not everything in C++ should be done in the event graph. That actually does make sense. So coding is like a much safer alternative. Okay, blueprint equals to fast wiring, visual logic, iteration. C++ equals to authority, structure, performance, ownership. Okay, I think I'll go with the C++ stuff. Unreal was designed so C++ defines what exists. Blueprint decides how it behaves quickly. Okay, think of it like this. C++ builds the machine, Blueprint presses the buttons. When should you use event graph? Use it when you're learning, want fast feedback, you're reacting to events, begin, input, overlap, you're experimenting. Do not feel guilty using it. Epic uses it, pros use it, you're not cheating. Okay, when should you use C++? Okay, creating base system, pawn character controller, declaring components, writing reusable logic. You want full control. Your instincts learn this properly is correct. Now, what is the next step? This is important. Don't skip. Right now, your brain is invisible and untouchable. So the next step is give the pawn a body, not movement, not camera, not input, just a body. Exact action. Okay, do this live. In your pawn blueprint viewport, click add component, add a capsule component, make it the root component, scale it a little so you can see it. Okay, that capsule is collision, physics presence, proof your pawn exists in the world. Okay, I think I see. So I gotta go ahead and add a component, add a capsule component, and make a root component. So I'm going to get my Unreal Engine back here. Okay, let's go to my pawn here. So I'm going to go ahead and add. Let's go with something like component. Okay, should I go with new C++ component? Okay, there's another add up here. Let me try clicking this add. Let's go with something like component. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I gotta go ahead and add a new C++ component. So let's go with something like new C++ component. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that. And then actor component. Okay, wait, how do I actually add a component? How do you even stay so consistent that you code every single day? Honestly, guys, I do like ask myself that as well. I just like do it, even like if it feels kind of awful at days. That's it. Let's see. So in my viewport, add component. Let me see something like, let's say, so in my viewport, where do I need to click to add components? Question mark. Okay, let's see. Okay, Sensei, focus. Eyes on the screen. This is the movement where most people start random. Okay, you're in viewport. Look to the left side. There's a panel called components. Right click, click the green plus add button. Left panel components plus add. Okay, I think I see. That's where components are located. Let me actually get Sensei/ChatGPT in the other window so I can like actually whatchamacallit, like see, like read the reference and actually do this stuff. Okay, because I just need it to work once. If it actually works once, then I actually know how to get it to work again. Okay, let's see. Hold on, guys. There we go. Okay, so I gotta go up till my event panel in the left side. Do I see components up here? So it says there is a panel called components. So I see variables here. Okay, so in my variables, I see components here. Okay, there's default screen. Okay. And then right click at the top of that panel. So I gotta go ahead and right click. Okay, maybe here. There we go. Okay, after right clicking, click the green plus add button. I gotta go ahead and click the green plus add button. Maybe under my default components, I see add events, duplicate. Wait, is this how we add components? What is that? Okay, where's the green stuff? Let's see. So I do have my details panel open here. That is my components. Okay, right at the top of that panel, click the green. So it says there is a panel called components. Right at the top of that panel, there's called something like green. Is it under variables? Oh wait, is this add? Okay, wait, did I actually add a component here? So I see a boolean. It says new value. Click the at the right. Okay, so right at the top there's an add button here. Okay, that's a variable. Okay, that's it. That's where components are born, not in the middle. So components, left panel, add. Is this a component? Okay, so under my variables I see components. Maybe let me go ahead and delete this part real quick. Let's get Sensei/ChatGPT up here. Guys, this part gets like really tricky. Because whatchamacallit, I did try watching a few tutorials. I mean, yesterday after my stream ended because I wanted to do that part while coding, but I realized there are like very less videos or like tutorials where they actually add this stuff using coding. That's it. Let me say something like, let's say in the left side, I do see components under my, okay, what was it under? What up, guys? Let's go all the way down here. Okay, so under my variables section, I see components. Under under variables section, should I click the plus button there? Okay, let's go with something like there and create a new boolean variable question mark. Okay, do I need to create like a new boolean variable? Let's see. Okay. Okay, stop, full stop. Okay, let's see. No, don't create a boolean there. That plus button under variables is not for components. Components is not equal to variable. Variable is data, lives in memory. Component has a physical shape. Okay, click the add button at the top of the components panel. That's where you see capsule. That's where capsule component, static mesh, camera spring are created. When you create a boolean, okay, your task, ignore the variables for now, click components, and then I gotta add capsule component, static mesh, okay, camera, compile, okay, do that first, then we talk. Okay, let's get Synthase slash ChatGPT up here. Now let's go all the way down, maybe decrease this. Okay, now let's see. So, under my components, so I see components, I see a default scene root as well. Okay, can I add stuff here? What if I type something like add? Okay, there is no add here. What if I go with something like capsule mesh? I don't see a capsule mesh as well. I see default screen roots. I see volume. Okay, am I like messing something up here? Maybe let me say that under my components, I see default scene root. So let me say under my components, I see default scene root. That might actually be kind of helpful. Okay, so let's scroll this all the way down. Let's say something like, let's say under my components, I don't see any add button. I see a default scene fruits though. What up, guys? I think it might be more readable if I write it this way. Okay, I see a default scene root. There we go. Guys, I think I spelled scene wrong. Okay, Sensei, that means your project is normal now. Listen, yes, default scene root is supposed to be there. That is the placeholder root of your pod. That's not a problem. The add button is on the root itself. Look again. Left side components is panel. At the very top of that panel, above default scene root, you should see add component or add component depending on Unreal's version. If you click on default scene root, the button can disappear. That's the trap. Do this exactly. Click on an empty space in the components. Click add. What up, guys? I think something is not actually working. Or no, the add button is up. I will tell you. Honestly, is it up? Is it like is it? Are we going with this variables as add button? Because I feel like I tried this, but this creates a variable. Day 21 of asking why you're gay, guys. Why you're gay is actually kind of crazy. Okay, that's it. Let's see. So this is my add component. So I see a default here, but I don't see an add button here. I see override functions, but okay, you're looking at the component variable. Add component is above those variables. Add component is above on the top of your screen. So I see. Oh, should I go here? Adds a new component to this actor. Should I go with something like, yes it is, let's go. Guys, all I need is just some of you guys actually telling me because I feel like I'm way too stupid with this part. Okay, let's go with something like a capsule. Oh, I see. Okay, this makes so much sense. Okay, so scene capsule component. Do I have to go with scene capsule component? Let's see. There we go. So, do I gotta click capsule component? Okay, I gotta add the capsule component. No, click the plus beside the variable. This plus right here. Okay, if I do click that plus, it actually gets a new variable up here. Click the plus beside the variable. Okay, what do you want to add? Honestly, I want to add like a capsule component and eventually like a spring arm and camera as well. So like, let's go all the way up here. There we go. So it says click the add button at the top of the components panel. That's where capsule components, static mesh, camera, spring arm are created type stuff. Okay, this adds variable. Okay, so do I actually need this variable type stuff? Because I gotta go ahead and add a capsule component. Let's go with something like capsule. Okay, I might actually have to check the docs for this part though. Okay, let's go with something like category default, replication, advanced, default variables. Okay, honestly, I don't like see this part. Maybe I go ahead and like delete this part. Under my component, adds a new component to this actor. I think I gotta go in this part because this makes more sense. Okay, you don't need the variable. That actually does make sense. Let me go with something like capsule. Okay, so I see capsule component 2D and a scene capture capsule. So I see a capsule component. By the way, what games do you plan on making? Honestly, I don't know for the time being. For the time being, I am actually working on learning what pawns do, actors do, characters and all that stuff does, and eventually I'm gonna like work with ideas and make mini projects and all that stuff. So if you wanna add component, add it from the add. By the way, okay, let's see. So right here, so I see a screen capture component. Okay, maybe let's go ahead and so it says capsule component. Okay, what if I try searching for static mesh? Let's go with something like static mesh. So I'm gonna go with something like static. Okay, static mesh. Okay, view adjusted. I see a static mesh here, but I don't see capsule component. Okay, capsule collision. Okay, maybe I think I'm spelling it wrong. I highly doubt I'm spelling it wrong though. Let's copy this part. Go there. Let's go ahead and go to add and paste this here. I see capsule collision. Is capsule component capsule collision? Okay, let me go here and say something like, let's say, when I click or when I type capsule components, I see capsule collision. Are they the same question mark? Okay, and maybe I might want to even like check the docs for this part because I feel that would be more important. Okay, this is important. This is one of those foundation or future moments. Yes, capsule collision is the capsule component. Okay, Unreal just loves renaming things to confuse innocent brains. In C++, it's called uCapsule components. Okay, in the blueprint, add component just shows capsule collision. Same thing, different stuff. So click add capsule, add component, search capsule, capsule collision, added. Okay, there we go. That makes more sense now. Let's go ahead and paste this here. Okay, perfect. There we go. So wait, did I go ahead and create something extra? What up, guys? Was the default always here? I don't think the default was always here. Was the default always here, guys? Let's go ahead and delete that. Okay, I can't delete it, which means it was always here. Let's add a capsule. Okay, there we go. This is going to be my capsule. You can let me see the pawn in the content browser. Can you let me see the pawn? Honestly, this is my pawn. So I created like a pawn in my C++ classes. Then I converted it to be a blueprint pawn as well. Because apparently if I just create regular class and exit my Unreal Engine and I like log back in, all my classes are gone type stuff. That's it. I have my pawn here. Now let's go to something like project settings. Maybe my blueprint. There we go. Okay, now in my blueprint, let's go ahead and turn around to actually find my components. Okay, what if I go to perspectives? Guys, did I actually lose my pawn? Oh wait, there we go. It's right there. Oh, I think I see the component. There we go. Okay, what do you want to make? I might help you. Honestly, I'm not like trying to make a specific thing. I'm just trying to eventually add like movement to my pawn because last time I couldn't add a movement type stuff and then also like add a camera above it and all that stuff. So I'm basically trying to learn the basics first and then I'm going to be working on the actual project type stuff. That's it. Let me say something like done adding my capsule components. What to do next question mark? I'm pretty sure I gotta go ahead and add like a spring arm and all that stuff as well. Okay, select capsule component. In the components tab, right click convert to root. Okay, so I gotta convert to root or make capsule the root, depends on your UE version, your Unreal version. Confirm it replaces the default scene root. I see. Okay, after static mesh, but before the static mesh, I'm gonna go ahead and right click my capsule. I want to go ahead and convert it to be a root. So open capsule component.h. Nope, I gotta convert it to be a root. How do I convert it to be a root? Let me type something like root up here. Let's go with something like root. Okay, I gotta right click, right? So I gotta right click and then let's go with something like roots. Is there a way to... It's very easy. It's very easy way to drag it to the default. I see. Okay, so is there a way to like convert it to the root type stuff? Okay, let me actually read that part again. No, drag it to the def alt or halt, the def halt. Wait, do I gotta like drag it to my on title here? Should I like drag it up here so I could go to my... So let's maybe go all the way here till my blueprint class and my contents is browser. Okay, should I like drag it up here? There we go. Okay, now let's get it up here. Okay, so I do have like my blueprint class up here of my blueprint pawn. Now let's see, hold the capsule and release it on default. No, hold the capsule and release it on default. Let me remove it from here in that case. Okay, so I gotta hold the capsule and release it on default. Oh, like this? Did that actually... Oh, I think I see root components. Does it say root components here? Okay, this says replicates. Do I see a root component? So one component hit, and then I see one component begin overlap, one component end over. Okay, I do not see a root component. Yes, let's go. Okay, so I see top left. Do I still need to like convert it to root? Am I just blind, or can I actually like, is there actually not a root here? What's good, bro? How are you, Sprongle? I appreciate you joining the stream. Good job. Okay, let's go. Now, let me actually read this part again that says to add the root component. So right click, convert to root component, make capsule the root component, confirm it replaces a default scene root. Once that's done, okay, wait, let me say something like, let's say when I, let's say something like, when I right click, I don't see the root component, or convert to root component, although someone from my chat said me to drag and drop it in the place of my default, and that replaced it, exclamation. Okay, let's see, exactly, that works too. You just replace the default scene root with your capsule, and now your pawn has a body. Armwell can move. Next step, add a mesh to see your pawn. Click add component, static mesh, drag it under your capsule in the component hierarchy so it moves to the capsule. Okay, so I gotta add a mesh to my capsule, so let's go ahead and add a static mesh. I'm gonna go with something like static mesh. There we go, so I add a static mesh here. Now I want to go ahead and actually add one. Maybe before I actually go ahead and create a mesh, I want to go to my untitled project, go to content drawer. In my content, maybe I want to go ahead and create a file. Let's go ahead and create a folder. Okay, maybe instead, okay, should I create a folder here, or can I actually drag and drop a folder? Because I have a folder called like Blender Meshes. Okay, let's go ahead and import it. There we go, it imported my folder. There we go. So this is where I actually have my meshes type stuff. Okay, now let's go ahead and open my chat here. So there we go. Okay, perfect. So I went ahead and added this part here. So these are all my mages and bosses PNGs. Let's go all the way up here till my blueprint pawn, and let's actually add my mesh here. Should I go with boss or mage? I think I'll go with something like boss.png. Okay, I'm assuming this is how we add this stuff here. Now let's go all the way there. So there we go. Okay, perfect. Is it actually added? Is this how we really add this stuff? Okay, so I added a static mesh, and it is set to movable as well. Okay, perfect. Now let's get Sensei/ChatGPT up here again. No, this makes it a root component. It makes it a root component. If I close it, oh, it is a root component. I want it to be blueprint. So what if I delete this from here? I go add, let's add a static maybe. Let me go ahead and close this part real quick. Okay, make the boss in the center. Make the boss in the center. Wait, did I actually have to keep the static mesh? Multiple assets. Okay. This is my boss mesh. That is my mage mesh. Let's go ahead and remove this. Make it in the center. Isn't he like in the center? Okay, so because I see there's like a huge difference. Let me actually try moving myself. There we go. So there's like some space between my between the two of them. So what if I go ahead and copy this, and let me get myself a bit in the front. Why you deleted? Oh, I thought because it was the root component. My bad, guys. Okay, now let's change its location right here. There. Is that considered the center? Even though I like hard coded that stuff. Okay, yes. Okay, perfect. Let's go. Alright, now that it's in the center, let's see. Next up, what else should I go ahead and add? So I added a capsule, I added a mesh. Now let's see what else. Let me say something like, let's say I added a static mesh as well and set a FBX file from Blender to it as well. Okay, let's see, move it. Move it, how do I actually move it? Okay, next step, add a camera, click add component, go with camera, drag the camera under the capsule. Under the capsule, so it moves with the pawn position now where you want the player to see from, maybe above and slightly behind the mesh. Optionally, add a spring arm between the capsule and the camera for smooth flowing. Okay, how do I go ahead and add a spring arm? Maybe I'll just add a camera first type stuff. So let's open Unreal Engine here. Let's go with something like add. I might type something like a camera. Okay, let's go ahead and add this here. It's called camera. Let's go ahead and drag it up. Guys, this is actually much easier than when I actually tried coding this stuff. But I feel like I still want to actually work on coding it as well once I'm like done with actually adding it manually, because all the YouTube videos that I saw yesterday were just about people doing it this way. I want to do it like using actual programming and everything. That's so let me go ahead and actually take a look at my camera. Okay, I'm going to be rotating this camera. How do you rotate it? Nope. Maybe like this. That's top bottom. Okay, there we go. Rotate. Okay, which is my camera's head? Is it like this side? Oops, I think I got it wrong. Let's get back to its default settings. Let me go ahead and rotate it this way. So that's the head. There we go. That should be pretty good. Now let's get its position to be somewhere in front. Okay, that looks kind of good. Move it behind. Move it behind. So does that look good? Okay, let me go ahead and take a look at it as well. Let's go here. Let's turn this from here. Go here. No, click W. W. Should I select and click W? Okay. Okay, add E alone for rotate. Add E alone. Let me actually extend this real quick. So I see a rotate. Maybe let's reset the settings, reset that settings as well. I want to get the position a bit up to the left. Whoops. Let's go it a bit back. Now I want to go ahead and turn it. There. Okay, and R2 scale. Oh, I see. Okay, I think that makes sense. W and I move. Whoops. Guys, there we go. I gotta go all the way up there. There. Okay, I think I see. So like how we use it in Blender, I think it's exactly the same. Oh, I can move using buttons here. There we go. Okay, use the arrow keys, man. That actually does make sense. I just realized that I can move using these arrow keys. Okay. E for rotate. E for rotate. Oh, okay, okay, that actually makes sense. Let me decrease this real quick. Okay, W. What is W for? Let's see. And then I gotta go ahead and R. Oh, that makes sense. Let's go with something like... Whoops. Okay, guys, it's kind of awkward moving it like this right now because I'm used to moving with my mouse, but then I feel this is like a much better practice type stuff. Okay, no, don't right click. Okay, so I just go with W. I left click. Okay, maybe I'm just gonna go with R type stuff because I feel that's like much easier. Like I'm going to use E and R to rotate and scale. Okay, let me go a bit to the left. Oops. Guys, why is it so hard to control this? There we go. I guess that I'm just not used to controlling it. Let's go with something like E. I want to rotate it. Okay, perfect. Let's go with something like R. There. Okay, now I just want to get it up. I think this is pretty much it. Oh, I see. I see what it means. I don't gotta click it. R just changes the positions. That's rotate. This is rotate. This is get it up and down, and that's just to move it. There we go. Without left click. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, so I think this is pretty much it for the camera. I don't know how to add a spring arm, but I might actually add that next. Optionally, spring arm. Let me say something like, let's say I'm done adding it, exclamation. Okay, now should I also add it to my actual map question mark or do something else first? Okay, let's see. Should I actually add it to my map type stuff? Okay, excellent people. Don't rush. Adding it to the map is coming, but first we need to make sure your pawn actually moves and can be controlled. Here's the order. Make your capsule Make sure your capsule is a root and your mesh plus camera are children. You did this. Set up input bindings in project input. Move forward, move right. Okay, I gotta do this part. Let me do that part real quick. Under capsule, man. Under capsule. Now drag it under. Oh, I see. Okay, there we go. Camera, drag. Okay, wait. Can't I drag my camera? Drop here. Wait, let me remove it from my boss first and then drag it inside my capsule. There we go. Should my mesh go inside my capsule as well? Okay, wait. Let's drag that under my capsule. Can you listen to me? Now drag it under the capsule. Okay, wait. So let me get both of them out first. So I have my capsule there. Let's drag my camera inside my capsule. Attach. Wait, can I attach? So I see my capsule here. Let's hit this. Okay, and then maybe attach. Let me type something like. Okay, I can attach it from here. Should I? Let's see. Maybe I right click that. Open component. Capsule first. So capsule first. Okay, under the capsule, can you? So capsule first. Okay, wait. Alright, guys, I'm kind of waiting. Okay, now let's see. So, I gotta drop something inside. So should I like drop my camera and boss mesh both inside my capsule? Because, oh wait, I think they're already inside the capsule, right? Can you drag the capsule? Okay, so drag the capsule. Oh, I don't think I can actually like drag the capsule because it has attached capsule to itself. Cannot attach capsule to itself. Okay, and then check if it is a children through the arrows. So the default component capsule is generally used for collisions. Through the arrow, hold Control Alt. So can you drag the capsule and then check if it's a children through the arrow? I see a small arrow here. How do you check? So I can drag the capsule because it says me that cannot attach capsule to itself. But my capsule has these things to it. Drop assets here. Okay, let me actually ask ChatGPT. How do I like check if it's a child class? Let's see. So make sure your capsule is not rude. Okay, camera are children. Yes, it is a children. Is it? How do you actually know? So if I go up here, it says the default. Okay, if it disables when clicking the arrows at children. Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, since I'm done with that, let's see the next part. So set up your binding inputs. Hey, howdy, Charlotte Oates. Okay, let's see. Set up your input binding and project setting input. Okay, I don't think this part is going to be that hard. So all I gotta do is go to my project settings and then go to input because I did this, I think, last stream or the stream before that. I gotta go to axis mapping. Under axis mapping, I'm gonna go ahead and call this something like move forward. Okay, so I have move forward, and then let's go ahead and add something to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with W to move forward. If I hit W, I want to move +1, and then let's go ahead and add another one. If I hit S, I want to move backwards. Then I add another axis mapping. This is gonna be something like move right. Okay, and then if I hit something like A, I move to the left. There we go, A to the left, and let's go with something like S to the or D to the right. This is going to be -1. Let's go with something like -1 and change that to be -1 as well. Okay, I will tell you. Okay, that actually does make sense. Okay, now once we're done with this part, let's see. Make sure your Pawn C++ class or Blueprint handles these inputs move forward / move right functions. Only then place it in the map and set it as default pawn or your custom game mode. Okay, or your custom game mode. Should I actually make custom? If you skip 2 and 3 and drag it in, it'll just sit there like a statue. Do you know any other language other than English? Honestly, I would say I know a little bit of Spanish and like a bit of Hindi, but I'm not like as fluent in those as I'm in English type stuff. Okay, that's it now. For number 3, make sure your pawn handles. Let me say something like, let's say for step number 3, should I add the movement in my Visual Studio? Because I do know how to do that part. Let's go with something like in my Visual Studio question mark. Okay, step 3 in Visual Studio becomes your weapon. You don't do the actual movement in the blueprint, yet you implement the functions. So, okay, so I go with that stuff and then the void method and all that stuff. Player components, okay. I see. Now, I'm gonna go to my Visual Studio. Firstly, I wanna go to my header files. Look, you create a folder called inputs. You create a folder called inputs. Honestly, I think like I have my access mapping here, so this thing already creates it for me type stuff. Okay, no, blueprints are better. Oh, I see. Okay, let's see. Wait, blueprints are better. Wait, isn't this for my blueprint type stuff? Let's see. Uh, okay, maybe let me actually go ahead and add this part first. So under my begin play, I'm gonna go ahead and create two methods. Let's create a void method called something like move right. So I'm gonna go ahead and create something like a move forwards method. Okay, with a parentheses that does require floating point value of something like value ending with a semicolon. No, this is the settings. You didn't attach it. I didn't attach it. Okay, to the pawn. I didn't attach it to. Oh, I see. Okay. I think I see this. I think I know how to do this part. Hold on, guys. Maybe attach it to the pawn. I think I should go ahead and create another class called something like game modes. Hi, Bhanu. I appreciate you joining the stream. That's it. So in tools, if I go to new class, I'm pretty sure I gotta go ahead and create something like a game mode base. Create a folder. Input. So I gotta create a folder input. Maybe should I create that like in my content drawer? Like let's go to my content browser up here. Now, in my inputs to create a folder. Guys, I feel like the stream has like a 15 whole second delay type stuff. That's it. So I see my Blender FBX. No. Okay. No, actually, let's see. So Blender FBX, so C++ main. Should I create a folder here? So, okay, yes. So create a folder. So, show an explorer. Okay, so should I go ahead and create a folder here called input? Because I need to do that like from my explorer. So if I go here, I go to my documents, unbuild projects, and then in my main function, there we go. Should I go ahead and create a folder somewhere in here type stuff? Add a folder called input in the content. Okay, so in the content browser, I'm gonna go ahead and create a new folder called something like input. There we go. Okay, once I'm done with input, inside this, should I, I'm assuming no need. Oh, I see. Okay, so inside my input, should I go ahead and maybe add my actual pawn and my blueprint pawn? I don't think that would make sense though. Maybe it might, because like two pawns in the same location, but that wouldn't like fix it, like that wouldn't like answer how do we attach that stuff. Maybe let's go ahead and just add input mappings inside it. Wait, add input mappings inside it. Okay, these input mappings, honestly I've heard of like access mappings. How do we add like input mappings? Blueprint pawns. Wait, should I go ahead and click export or something? Export or import and then import that inside here? I see import. Oh, I see add. Okay, wait, let me go with something like input mapping. I see input mapping context. Inside the folder, right click. Okay, so I got it. That's okay, so I right click. Okay, and input mapping. So is it this input mapping context? So there we go. So let's go with something like mapping. Okay, is it this input mapping context? There we go. Okay, yes, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to be calling this something like new input map. I could always change the name later on. Now, should I add something in here? So I have Blender, name it whatever you want. Okay, I think I'll leave it something like new input mapping context. Now, do I go ahead and add something inside this? I mean, add something else in the folder because, okay, input mapping context isn't something like attached with this type stuff. Like in my, wait, is there a reason to use this in that case? Huh. Okay, let's see. Double click on it. There we go. Oh, I see mappings. There we go. Okay, this makes sense. So I see key defaults. Mapping, if I did something like add. Okay, can I go with something like W? Okay, maybe not. Let me go ahead and remove that part. I see mappings. And then I see input modes, registration, description. Okay, uh, t- uh, okay, maybe in the mapping section. Wait, let me actually get say slash chat GP, or maybe there we go. Okay, so I had a question. Let me say something like let's say someone from my chat said me to go to my content says folder and create a folder called input. Then I added input mapping context to it, and then he said to double click it. Um, okay, maybe I think like let's see, add mapping. Okay, let's go ahead and add mapping. So, okay, so if I add a mapping, how do I like add something to it? Browser assets. Oh, I see. There we go. Let's go with something like W. Let's go ahead and add another mapping. This is going to be called something like maybe S. There we go. Okay, now I need another. Like, I don't think I can click this again though. For very sure, I needed something like 3. Okay, this is inheritance. 0 array elements. Okay, I don't think the array elements is gonna do something type stuff. Okay, don't I need to add like scale or something? Like when I was in my project settings, I did add like scale 1 and scale -1 to like actually multiply it by that when I'm actually like working on my code so I can move forward or backwards type stuff. Huh, that's let me actually read that. If you would like. No. Okay, should I like to add something else? Because I do need like A and D as well to like move left and right too. Okay, let's see. No. Oh wait, should I delete W and S? Should I like delete these? Okay, well the stream delay is actually guys, because of the stream delay, I don't think like I can actually talk properly type stuff. That's it. Let's see exactly, people. That's the new enhanced input system workflow in Unreal Engine 5, creating your input mapping context. You already made the folder. Double click, open. Okay, click the plus button, name it move forward. Call it move right. Linking in C++. Can I enter? Okay, can I enter? If you would like Discord? Honestly, you could like join my Discord server. We could like actually try this off stream as well. That's it. Later in your Pawns C++ class, you'll reference this input mapping context and bind your functions. Move forward, move right, do these actions. This replaces the old bind access system. Okay, so I gotta go ahead and for each action, click it and assign it to keyboard key controls. Okay, inside input mapping context, okay, click add action, okay, or the plus button, and maybe move forward. So add action, do we see add action? So I see input action. Okay, maybe not that. Right click, left click. Okay, should I maybe in input add? So left click in input add right here. Okay, I see triggers, modifiers, setting behavior. Okay, and then I see none here. If I were to like left click down here as well, there's the thing. I see triggers, modifiers, setting behaviors. Right click in the input folder, add input action. Oh, in the inputs is folder. What up, guys? Let's close this part. Let's remove details. So this is my inputs is folder. I gotta go ahead and left click in inputs. Okay, and then new folder. So wait, this is my folder. Right click. Okay, input add. So what if I go with something like input action? Okay, in the input folder, add input action. There we go. Okay, so that is my new input action. Now inside my actions, there's a description, IC triggers. Okay, user settings. Okay, this is my input actions. I see triggers. What if I go with plus and triggers? Okay, yes. Now inside this part, let's see. So I have my, so should I remove my W and S from here? Okay, name it forward. Oh, I see. Okay. That makes sense. Wait, hold up, guys. Let's go with something like R to rename. Can we rename like that? Rename. Okay, let's go ahead and rename. I'm gonna go ahead and call this something like forward. Let's go with something like move forward. Okay, so how do we move forward here? Do I like have to add more like two different actions like moving forward and moving backwards, moving left and moving right type stuff? That's a new input mapping context. Should I remove my W and S from here? Okay, so I have a input action and a input mapping context. Okay, now let's get some say/ChatGPT up here. Let's see. So click add action or the plus, name it move forward, add action. Inside the input mapping context, click add action. Wait, hold up, guys. Let me see something like, let's say I feel like they're not on the same page. In my contents folder, I have a folder called input, and inside that folder I have a action, what's it called, action mapping. So I have a input action and a input mapping context. So I have a input action and input mapping context. Let's go all the way here. Now drag it in the context. Wait, now drag it in the context. Wait, is that how it works? Now drag it in the context. Drag the input action in the context. Would it work? Okay, let me double click this. Did that part actually work? Oh, I see. Move forward. There we go. For move forward, I'm gonna go ahead and oh, okay. This makes sense actually. Let's go ahead and change this. No, the tab. There we go. Okay, now should I go ahead and create another input action? Let's go with something like input action. Input action. There we go. Let's name this something like move right. Okay, I literally have. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and move my right here as well. Now if I were to go all the way in here, let's see. So for my move forward, there we go. This moves it to be. So let's go ahead and add another one. I'm going to go with something like A and S. Okay, actually A and D. Okay, perfect. Now, I think I should set the scale as well so it can actually scale itself type stuff. Okay, so I added two stuff. Okay, let me go here. So, okay, let me say something like, inside that folder I have, let's say something like 2 input action and 1 input mapping context. So there we go. And then I added both my input action. One is called move forward and the other is called move backwards. Let's go with something like move right. I mean, there we go, move right. Okay, so one is called okay, so one input mapping. There we go. Okay, one is called move forward and one is called move backwards. Okay, and then once I did that, let me say something like, and then I added both of them to my context. I dragged and dropped. Now I added them to my actually instead of added, let's say something like, now I set WASD, although I did not set a scale because I can't see a scales as option like I could with, let's say something like I didn't see scales as an option like I could see with my access mapping in my project settings. Okay, no idea how C++ works. But honestly, I feel like Unreal is like so much different from C++ because like I'm good at coding type stuff, but then when it comes to the actual mechanics type stuff right here, this actually kind of gets me, guys. but I feel like once we actually get used to this part, it's going to get really easy. That's why I'm like, I just want it to work once so I know exactly how it's done. Now I see what's happening, people. You're deep in the enhanced input system, which is slightly different from the old access mapping. Here's what's going on. Input actions versus input mapping context. You did this right. Two input actions, move forward, move right, and one input mapping context that contains both actions. The input actions themselves don't have a scale like old access mapping. The scale is applied when you bind them in your pawn. That's because enhanced input is more flexible. You can have same function bound differently depending on the device or context. What you need to do next, in your pawn C++ class, instead of bind access, you'll use enhanced input functions to bind the action and apply a scale there. Okay, so in your pawn C++ class, instead of bind access, you'll use enhanced input functions to bind the actions, apply a scale there. Example, when you move forward, this trigger multiply the input value by your speed +1 for W, -1 for S, same for move right. Basically, scale is no longer in the editor, it's in your code when you handle the action. I see. Okay, let me say something like, I see. So there we go, guys. I gotta like work on my typing speed. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So, is there anything else to do now? That I added my movement question mark A. Now that I added my A, actually WSAD. Okay, let's see, guys. That was kind of I was kind of sweating while doing that part. I feel like I get it now. That's it. Yes, people. Now that you have WASD set up in your input mapping context, there are a few crucial steps. Enable enhanced moving. Okay, guys, we gotta do more on real type stuff. You need to make sure your pawn is using enhanced input component instead of old setup player input component alone. This lets it actually read the actions you created. Bind your input action in C++. Okay. Maybe one step at a time. Would you like to learn C# after completing this 100 days of C++ series? Honestly, I might actually look into it because I feel like I just have like 150-ish days left, and I do gotta like work with Python as well. Maybe I might try C# for my next project type stuff, unless it actually helps with my this series right here. That's it. Let's say something like, Sensei, can we go one step at a time? Question mark. Should I drag and drop my blueprint on my actual map, or should I check enhanced settings and how to do that? Question mark. Okay, let's see. Yes, people, one step at a time. Don't rush and mess it all up. First thing, don't drag your pawn into map yet. That will come after you make sure your pawn can actually receive input. If you drop it now, it'll just sit there just like a statue because it won't move. Next step, check your enhanced input setup. Here's what to do. Open your pawn blueprint, the one you already created. Select the pawn itself. Okay, so I got open that I created. With my English, honestly, I feel like it was pretty good. Bro, do you prefer Mike Tyson or Michael Jackson? Honestly, I didn't like watch them a whole lot much and everything, but I don't know. I think like both are really pretty good type stuff, but I do actually prefer Bruce Lee a lot because like I was like a really big Bruce Lee fan, guys. That's it. Let's see. Select the pawn. So open your pawn blueprint, the one you already created. Select the pawn itself. I gotta select the pawn itself. Click the root component or the left panel. In the details panel, scroll until you find pawn or input settings. Make sure auto possess player is set to player 0. I know how to do this part. This tells Unreal your pawn should respond to first player inputs. Okay, let's open my Unreal Engine up here. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this for the time being because I actually don't need this part. I don't need my move forward as well. Let's remove that. Let's go here. Now, once I'm up here, I'm gonna go to my content drawer, go to something like content. So there we go. I'm gonna drag my blueprint up here. I know Sensei/ChatGPT said me not to. The camera does work. I see a pretty good camera up here, guys. And now let's go ahead and extend this. So, guys, my camera just disappeared. Wait, did I just mess something up by clicking something wrong? Okay, so if I go to blueprint pawn, there we go, camera is back up here. Now, under my blueprint pawn, in my detailed settings, I have world settings as well. Let's see. So capsule. Uh, Man, enter Discord with me. Honestly, I could like actually open the Discord to see. Okay, to be faster. Actually, I feel like I understand how this part works. So we could actually like work on this off stream as well if I did have some time type stuff. Let's see. Is it like in general or like the C++ chat? Let's see. Yo, let's go with something like hello. Okay, now let's see. So, let me get some slash ChatGPT back up here. Now, so open your Blueprint class, select the pawn itself, details panel, scroll till you find pawn or input settings, make sure auto possess. Okay, so I gotta scroll till I find pawn or input settings. I might go with something like input. Input, there we go. Let's go with something like input. Not there, then I might go with something like pawn. Maybe something like my pawn. I might go with something like my pawn. Okay, my pawn is in there as well. Am I checking something correct? So I see my pawn up here. There we go. This is myself. Now let's type something like input. Okay, what up guys? Maybe input. Okay, auto receive input. I should set it to player 0. Okay, so it says, okay, in that auto possess player, set it to player 0. This tells you a pawn, okay? Auto possess player. Man, I'm getting angry. Honestly, I did like try replying to this thing. Are we like in Discord type stuff? Okay, let's see. Maybe in the general. I actually don't see the chat type stuff. Are you even like in the Discord server? Okay, let's see. That said, now I see auto receive input. So I see auto receive input. Let me go ahead and get Sensei slash ChatGPT up here. Let's say something like auto possess player. Let's see something like Sensei. I dragged my blueprint to my main map, and then when I saw it on my highlighter. Wait, it says select the pawn itself. Hold up, guys. Wait, it's not. Open your pawn blueprint, the one that you created. Select the pawn itself. Wait, let me see something like. Let's say, how do I select the pawn itself? The pawn itself from my pawns' blueprint. From my pawns' blueprint. Let's go with something like blueprint question mark. Okay, I think I see where I messed up. Hey, respond to me. Honestly, I did actually like reply in the C++ chat. Like right here, I said, "What up, guys? I don't think you guys could see because of my blue light filter." There we go. I did like reply to it by saying hello type stuff. That said, let's go ahead and close this. I think I actually get it. This is receive input. This is going to be disabled. Now, let's get Sensei slash ChatGPT's chat up here again. And then, okay, yes, people, pay attention. This is crucial in your pawn blueprint. Look at the components panel on the left side. At the top left, okay, you should see default scene root or whatever your root component is now. Click on the very top item that says your pawn's name. It's usually above the components and has a little yellow icon that represents pawn itself, not a component. Maybe let me get this in the other window so I can actually read and like actually do it at the same time. Let's decrease my highlighter first. Let's go ahead and remove that real quick. Okay, because my camera does work. That's a good thing. Now, that said, in my project, in my pawn settings, there we go, right here. So, in your pawns' blueprint, so I'm assuming that's my pawns' blueprint. Look at the components panel. Oh, I think I didn't compile. Should I compile? Okay, 30 needs to be compiled. Okay, let's go ahead and compile this stuff. Now that it's compiled, let's see. So, at the top of your list, you should see default scene at the top of the list. Okay, I think my default scene is my capsule here. Okay, so look at the components panel. Okay, at the top you see whatever you call it. Right now it's usually above all components, yellow. Okay, it says it's yellow. Pawn itself, not a component capsule or mesh. Pawn itself. Oh, my pawn. There we go. Okay, click that and then I gotta go to my details section. Let's open my details panel. Do I have it up here? There we go, I have it up here. Now, oh, I see auto possess. I'm gonna change it to player 0. Work, guys. Okay, perfect. Next up, right now you should see properties like pawn, auto possess player. Okay, did that. Let's get some slash ChatGPT up here. Guys, that actually worked. I did not think it might actually work. There we go. Okay, now I think I understand how that works as well, so it might be much easier. Let's say something like, let's say I Did it! Exclamation. Okay, maybe let's zoom in a bit now. Okay, let's get this a bit up here. There we go. Okay, let's scroll all the way down here. Okay, good. Finally, people, now we're cooking with your pawn itself selected and auto-possessed player equals to 0. The engine knows this is the one the player will control. Next step, we bind your move forward and move right input actions from the input mapping context to your pawn so it actually reacts when you press WASRD. Okay, here's how. Open your pawn blueprint, go to the event graph right now. Okay, wait, hold up. Wait, let me say something like, let's say I wanted to do that using code, ... And also, should I drag and drop my pawn in my, I forgot what it's called, my map now, question mark. Okay, let's see. Yes, people, you don't need to drag your pawn to the map right now, otherwise even perfect code won't do anything because there's nothing in the level to control. After that, since you want to do it in C++, here's the flow. Make sure your pawn blueprint is based on your C++ class. You already did this. Good. I did this. Okay. Check that auto-possess player 0. Bind your input actions in C++. This is done in setup player input component. You've already started with bind access. Basically, instead of bind access, you use something like this. But now you'll need to make sure you're using enhanced input systems, not the old access mapping. Enhanced input systems. Okay, so where does this part go? So it says setup layer components. Okay, this is done in setup layer components. So I'm just gonna copy this for now to check if it actually works. Let's go ahead and delete this part. There we go. Okay, and why does C++ always give me like red underlines every once in a while type stuff? Okay, so setup player input component. Let's go ahead and paste that here. Guys, I'm like actually positive it's not like me that made a error in the code here. It's just the Unreal Engine. It like usually does this stuff for some reason. Like it keeps getting this thing, like it keeps getting red underline and eventually it just gets sorted out. Okay. Hey, hiding Shalud, I appreciate you joining the stream. That said, let's see. Do you like message me on Discord type stuff? Because I checked in Discord, I didn't actually receive a message. Like, I still didn't receive a message. Okay, that said, let's go ahead and exit this. So I see UE enhanced input components. Okay, CAS input component, player input component. Maybe I might do it from the event graphs first because I want to see how the code actually looks. Because do I gotta like restart my code or like reset my code or something? Okay, let me say something like, Sensei, can we try it on the event graph? Question mark, because I feel like I didn't do the enhanced input question mark. What does that even mean, question mark? Okay, because I think I did all these steps up till now, but I don't think I did like this step. Okay, yes, people, let's slow down and tackle this carefully. Don't rush into the code if you don't fully understand enhanced input, because that's the part that's been confusing you. The enhanced input settings is basically Unreal's newer, more flexible way of handling input. Instead of just mapping, okay, a key to move forward, like in the old system, it lets you create input actions like move forward, move right, and bind them to events. I think I did this in Blueprint. C++ this also supports trigger holds since you already made input actions and input mapping context in your context folder. We can do this directly in event graph. Okay, here's what to do. Open your blueprint, go to event graph, right click and search input action, move forward. Note should be called enhance input action forward. Drag it to the graph, choose the triggered event if it asks. Okay, choose a triggered event if it asks. From the value output pin, it should be a vector 2D or a float depending on how to use it. Connect it and add movement node if your pawn doesn't use a character movement component. Use an actor world offset. Okay, here's the thing. Before I actually do that, let me try the coding part as well. Let me just copy this part in the voice channel. Honestly, I don't think I can like go in the voice channel right now. Maybe after the stream though type stuff. So let's see. Okay, I do see like in the voice channel, but I might actually do that like after the stream type stuff. Okay, let's see now. Under my virtual void. Okay, will you get more accurate results? Will I actually, let me actually ask something, because I do like doing it like from the actual coding way, but I thought that if I do it from the event graph, I could like see the reference code here as well. Okay, wait, let me say something like, let's say, someone from my chat asked, will I get accurate results question mark, and do you recommend using it from, actually, do you recommend doing it, let's go with something like doing it from, doing it using code, or let's say something like using the, okay, using code or using event graph question mark. I prefer the programming part though. Okay, people, listen closely. If you set up enhanced input in the event graph correctly as 100% accurate results from basic movement, Unreal handles all the math and input polling for you. You won't lose anything. Now, about event graph versus C++. Event graph, fast, visual, easier to debug, greater for testing and learning, perfect while you figure out movement and enhance inputs. I want to help you. Honestly, after I'm done with the stream, maybe we could actually get it. Okay, will you get accurate results? DeepSeek, honestly, I heard like DeepSeek is like an AI type stuff as well. More control, better performance required if you want advanced AI, custom physics, or reusable systems. But if your setup is wrong in C++, your pawn won't move at all. For now, I'd recommend doing it in event graph. Let me say something like, let's say, maybe can you give me the reference code to add on my Visual Studio, because I do want to write the code dot dot dot. Okay, let's see. I did want to actually send my codes up there. Okay, so in your header files, so, oh, okay, no wonder I couldn't use it. The reason I couldn't use it is because I did not include these three folders. Stop spamming. ChatGPT is lying, honestly. Is she? Do you guys have like YouTube tutorials or something? Because I would actually prefer the tutorials part. Or like making videos or something. Because let's see, let's go ahead and paste this here real quick so I input stuff. Okay, why do I see a bunch of red underlines? I'm positive there's nothing wrong up here. Because I don't have like red underlines in my C++, but I have it in my header files. Let's go all the way up here to, okay, this goes in my header files. Inside here, a boss class, I gotta go ahead and add a few properties. Let's copy that. So inside my, there we go, now it's gone. This is what I mean, guys. Sometimes in Visual Studio, like, we just get random errors for no reason. Inside my bosses, or inside my pawns class, I'm gonna go ahead and paste a few properties. Okay, and then I generate a body. I see a few red underlines, so that could be because my inputs' name is wrong. Okay, what are parameters does it require? So it requires edit anywhere blueprint read only category is going to be equal to inputs. That's a place where I'm getting an error with my category equals to input. I'm seeing C++ code here, but you're doing good, brother. Honestly, it doesn't actually make sense, that stuff. Okay, let's see, because I feel like I'm really close, because I just needed to like work once. If it actually worked once, or I get a pretty good code that actually like works once, then I feel I can actually understand the whole concept of it. Now let's copy that, get some say slash chat GP here. Hold up, guys, there we go. Let's go ahead and paste it, go with shift enter and say something like, let's say, I see a red underline in my public section, Okay, my public says gives me a red underline. The pawn is the base class of all actors. Okay, let's get some say slash chat GP up here. Which processor do you use? Honestly, I am using the Intel, I think i9 processor or something like that. I actually forgot. Although I did like having a whole video in my channel where I actually built a PC. I showed you guys all the part type stuff as well. That's it. Let's go with something like, I see it run underline in my public. Okay, let's see. But everything else seems fine. Is it because my input parameter is wrong? Should I add a different name question mark? Okay, should I add a different name up there? People, I see exactly what went wrong here. Your class syntax is broken. Look carefully right now. Your code says integer main, u property. Problem, public and the u property is outside the braces. okay, of the class declaration. Also, you have a parentheses after your U property, which is totally invalid. So I include these stuff. So I first generate my body, then I go ahead and publicize everything. Oh, I see. Protected. Okay, and then after my player setup, under everything I add input. Oh, that makes sense. Let's go with a bunch of control Z's real quick. Okay, control shift Z. Okay, so it starts there, it ends there. That's my generated body. I'm gonna go all the way here. Let's paste it here, and I'll help you. I swear that actually does make sense, but I feel like I can't actually get on like hop on call on stream type stuff. That's it. Maybe off stream though. Okay, let's go ahead and delete this part. Now I see a class here. So in the U class, I feel something is like kind of messed up with my syntax up here. Maybe I copy that. Go with something like uh. Okay, my bad, guys. Let me go ahead and delete this part. That was kind of stupid. There. Okay, that's one reason that I don't actually prefer just copying and pasting code, but I just want to see if this part actually works. My generated body has a red underline, so I see public protected. Okay, and then after that, I have a my pawn here. Maybe, hey, I know in coding and I want to help him because he's very lost. That does make sense. Although, maybe after I'm like done with the stream, I could actually like, whatchamacallit, maybe get on call if I have some time. Okay, so my generated body does have a red underline up here. But everything else seems good. Maybe the generated body, the reason it has a red underline is because of my Unreal Engine. Okay, now let's get my C++. Let's see the other parts. Okay, now once I'm done with this, let me say something like done. Let's say although my generated body, is it called generated body? I think it's called generated body. My generated underscore body does have a red underline to it, although I think that it's just a Unreal bug because it does that sometimes. Although, what to add to my .c++ now? Okay, hey, don't respond. I want to give a quick tutorial instead of typing in the stream. It's 15 seconds delay. How can I help him? Maybe I think like you could like record a video that I could actually like watch it on the stream type stuff. Look, I can do that too. Guys, let's stop spam type stuff. That's it. Okay, let's see. Good people, that red underline sometimes happens. It's harmless on real. Okay, quirk, ignore it for as long as your code compiles. For now, your C++, here's a clean snippet, so I gotta go ahead and add my pawn stuff, and then I gotta go with a pawn.begin. Okay, and then I gotta go ahead and add this part. I mean, if our syntax are correct, if our like variable names are correct, if I were to go with control A, control V to paste this part. Okay, I see a bunch of red underlines. I feel like majority stuff here is kind of... Guys, this is what I mean. Sometimes it just like disappears a red underline. Let's say control S to save the code real quick. I want to see if it compiles. Because that's what actually makes sense. Because like if it compiles, then I can actually study the code because I have a reference on. Okay, notes, did all that stuff. Okay, next thing, make sure you have your capsule mesh as your root. Okay, let me say something like, say I just copied those codes for the time being to check if it compiles. Okay, that said, should I drag my blueprint class to my, let's say something like a map now and try running the code question mark? Okay, let's see, because apparently at times C++ does give me these errors. I don't know why though. Okay, let's see. Actually, C++ Unreal Engine. Okay, hold up guys, let's get some C/ChatGPT up here again. Okay, yes, people, drag your blueprint version of your pawn to the map. Okay, and then I gotta try running code. So let's get this all the way here. Okay, let's get my Unreal Engine here. Let's go to Untitled. I'm gonna go here to my content drawer and drag my blueprint class up here. Let's go ahead. Okay, the camera does work. Let's get this all the way up here. Okay, maybe I want to get my camera a bit higher than my player, so I'm gonna go to my blueprint settings here. Let's go to something like camera. Okay, I want to get this a bit higher. There we go. Now if I were to go all the way up here, I can see my player's point of view. Maybe I want to turn my camera if I did something like scale. Oops, let's go ahead and get this back here so I have more room to work with. And then zoom a bit back, get this a bit lower, click camera. Now, if I did something like E, maybe something like R. Wait, how do I scale stuff? There we go. Can I rotate? Okay, am I rotating it the correct way? W is to scale. Let's go to my untitled. I see stuff behind my camera. I want to see it in front. So all I gotta do is just flip it. Let's just go ahead and rotate it the other way. There. And now if I to go ahead and come here, there we go. That is my camera as a section. Now let's go ahead and hit Control Alt F11 to run my code, and now let's see what happens. Waiting for my code to patch up. Okay, this shouldn't take that long. That's it, guys. I think like I'm getting like a leg pain or something. Okay, it says build fail because I got this error. Let's go ahead and copy this error. The build fail actually makes sense here. Okay, let's go ahead and copy this part. Okay, let's go ahead and delete that. Get some /chat-gp up here. I think I know what happened. Let's go ahead and paste this. Go to enter and see something like say it says a build failed. Okay, it says build failed. Alright guys, let's go with something like says a build failed. Okay, maybe it is because of my generative. There, this is what I mean, guys. My generative body doesn't have it an underline anymore. Neither does all this except my move right, move forward. Maybe I gotta change those names. Enhanced input. This is my move forward. Action, add actor, offset. Okay, maybe this part goes under my begin player. So I gotta maybe get that under that. Let's copy this real quick. So add font input component. Maybe I'm gonna do this in a bit. Okay, let's get some /chat-gp real quick. Yes, I see exactly what happened, people. You're missing up the methods. Your compiler is screaming because you declared move forward and move right. No, nowhere in your header file, but you're using them to right now. In my pawn.h only has u input mapping context and u input action declared no actual movement functions. That's why you get move forward is not a member of pawn. And methods like actor, vector, offset, and fail because the compiler thinks classes doesn't inherit a pawn properly. Okay, here's exactly what you need to do. In my pawn.h, I gotta add these two methods. I was actually thinking, why didn't I like add them? Man, can you delete the code and start in the blueprint and try to contact me? Honestly, I could actually try that like after the stream because I feel that would be kind of helpful. And then implement these functions, okay? And then my pawn.c++, let's go here. And I gotta go ahead and paste my input stuff under my begin right here. So these are the two functions that I paste. Now, once I'm done with this part, so there we go. That fixes almost everything here. That's what I was initially thinking. Like when I first came here, I was trying to add these two methods. I was thinking, why didn't we add those methods? But I was like later on that probably we didn't add it because of our because this is like enhanced input and we needed this for like actors and not pawns because I'm not used to adding pawns type stuff. Now I don't get any errors. This actually might work. Let's get Unreal Engine. You heard Control Alt F11 to compile my code. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's wait for it to compile. Okay, actually patch. Okay, let's see. Results succeeded. There we go. Link successfully. Now, if I were to go ahead and exit that stuff, run the code, let's see what happens. Okay, so my camera does work, but I cannot move till now. Okay, I think this is some progress, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and hit something like escape. My camera works, but I cannot move. Okay, let's go ahead. After the stream, it's gonna be too late currently. It's 10:23 p.m. in my region. I see. Maybe later on, if you do have time, you could like record a video, like try explaining me what to do type stuff. Okay, that's it, because like the video is pretty this thing. I might actually watch that on stream as well if it doesn't have copyright type stuff. That's let's see, let's get some up here. Okay, so if my axis value is not 0, okay, I think I could actually figure it. Let me try figuring this part real quick because there might be a small silly mistake. Okay, never mind, guys. I thought we didn't add the 600 centimeters. This part is correct. Everything is correct. I just do not move. Okay, let's get some /chat-gp up here. Let me say something like, let's say, I think I see progress. I see the map in first person. Okay, from my meshes or from my pawns' perspective, okay, although I can't move using buttons. Okay, alright, bye. Alright, what you might call it? I appreciate all the help, Charlotte. I'll catch you next stream. Okay, let's see. Alright, people, now we're getting somewhere. You see through your pawns' eyes, that's progress. But the fact that you can move means the input system still isn't hooked up correctly. Here's the problem step by step. Enhanced input needs to be added to the player controller, not just your pawn. Okay, so it needs to be added to my player controller as well. If you only bind actions in the pawn, Unreal won't know which pawn to give the input unless you do it in the controller. Okay, we do need to add controller as well. Number 2, make sure your pawn auto-possessive player 0, that is set to 0 in the details panel. Your input mapping context must be added to the enhanced settings. So, in my super begin, if player controller, let's go ahead and copy this part real quick. Okay, wait, I'm just gonna be copying this part. Okay, let's go ahead and copy that. First, I just wanted to somehow actually work type stuff, so I get this part here. So this goes in my, I'm assuming not my header file, so this is my C++ file up here. I see the begin up here, this is player controller. Wait, I did add my player controller though, right? Maybe let's paste it here to see if it's something different. Okay, player controller, cast app controller, it's exactly the same. Okay, if boss mapping context subsystem, okay, maybe let me go ahead and remove that part and try this bottom one real quick. Let's hit Control S to save the code. I'll go at 11:30 p.m. actually. Oh, that actually does sound kind of cool. Okay, now let's go ahead and get my Unreal Engine. You heard something like Control Alt F11 to patch the code real quick, and then I want to try running it. Okay, let's see. There we go. Let's go ahead and run it. Now, can I move? The moment of truth. Okay, I can move. Let me go ahead and check the world settings. I feel everything is correct. Is there something that I'm missing? Let me think really hard. Is there something that I'm missing that I didn't add? If I were to go up here, my auto player possession, so my auto possess player is set to player 0. Okay, so it does actually, I feel like my inputs is being registered. If I like add a UE log, I'm pretty sure I could see that my inputs are being actually my inputs are working, but my pawn can't actually like react or like listen to my inputs. Let's go with something like Control C here. There we go. Now I'm gonna go with something like Control C, copy that. Let's give some C/ChatGPT here. Let's go ahead and paste this. Go with Shift Enter and say something like let's say this is my .c++ file. Okay, and then so let's go all the way here to my header files as well. I'm gonna go with something like Control A, Control C, copy that. Okay, get some C/ChatGPT up here again, and this is gonna be my header files. Let's paste it and say something like this is my header files. Let's go with this is my header files. Okay, and then now once I get my C++ and header files, let me say something like I still can't move, but my camera does work. Okay, if this part didn't work, I might try doing it from my event graph as well. People, I see exactly what's happening. You're almost there, but the reason you still can't move your pawn is because your pawn isn't possessing itself. Seeing the camera move, my camera is static as well, but the pawn is not moving, is the classic sign. Wait, okay, I see my camera. Hold up, guys. Maybe let me edit this message real quick. I think I should have phrased myself properly. So, this is my header files. Wait, didn't I like paste my header files? Let's go ahead and paste it. That is my header files. Okay, let me say something like, I see my camera, but I cannot move at all. Not my player or my camera. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and it's something like send. Now, under this, I'm gonna see. Okay, people, I see exactly what's happening. You see through the camera, but your pawn isn't moving because your pawn is not actually possessing. The player see camera move doesn't mean your pawn is moving. It usually means the editor camera or a camera component is the pawn. Okay, it's still active, but the input isn't controlling the pawn yet. I'm going to give a quick tutorial of first delete your input action and then name it IA move and add that and add all your keybinds WASD. Go to your blueprint and then add the blueprint node IA move and then in okay, and a new function, name it move. Okay, that was a bit hard to actually think of. I'm going to give you a quick tutorial first. Delete your input. So I have input. So do I need to like delete my inputs as file here? I'm assuming that. Oh wait, delete your input actions. So I gotta delete both my input actions. Then name it IA underscore move and the add and then add all your key bits WASD and go to your blueprint, okay, and then in the blueprint add node IA move and then add new function, name it move. Add new function, name it move. Okay guys, I think that was a bit more, I think that was kind of complicating to understand type stuff, but add it back. What up guys, I think I understand, that does make sense, but I feel like I understood that part wrong. Like I couldn't like trace that part. Okay, your being player code looks fine, but okay, it only works if pawn is being possessed. Maybe guys, I think I got a genius idea. Let's go ahead and copy this. Let's go ahead and copy this message. Let's go ahead and paste it here. Okay, let me just say someone said this from the chat so I can actually understand what this part means. Okay, and then let's go ahead and copy this. So let's copy that. Paste it here. Okay, and lastly, add it back. Copy that. Okay, guys, this was actually kind of genius. Okay, let's go ahead and paste it. Now, go with Shift Enter and say something like, Sensei, someone said that from my chat, but I don't understand what it means. Okay, let's see. Maybe I hydrated my lips as well because I feel like it is kind of dehydrated, guys. Okay, so what that means step by step, delete the old inputs. They want you to start fresh. Sometimes Unreal gets confused if you have multiple actions. Okay, create one input action called IA move. This is a straight input action that handles movement in both directions, forward, backwards, and left and right using a vector. Instead of two separate floating actions, add keys WASD to it. In the input action, bind WS to the y-axis and AND to the x-axis, okay? This one lets one input return a 2D vector. Go to your pawn blueprint, open the event graph, add the IA move node. This node will trigger whenever you press WASD, add a function called move. In this function, you read the vector from IA move and call it add vector world offset. Oh, I see. And then move function, click on it, add to input x and y axis, which is floating point. Okay, I think I see. Okay, let's see. Basically, so connect the IA move node to your move function. This ties to input. Okay, so let me say something like, so do I delete all the changes that I made on my .h and .cpp file, question mark. Okay, should I make the changes here? Not completely, but yes, we'll scrap the different stuff. Okay, let's go here, move forward, move right stuff. Maybe I go with a bunch of control Z's up here. Okay, there we go. Let's add a bunch of control Z's up here as well. Okay, let's go with a bunch of, okay, there we go. Set up player input components. Okay, I see a red underline in my generate body. I'm assuming I always get that stuff. Like Unreal for some reason just gives me errors. Hiding long story, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, now let's read the instructions really carefully up here. Okay, let me say something like, I did a bunch of control plus Z. Now my code is back to how it originally was. That said, can you tell me step by step what to do now? Let's go with something like what to do now, question mark. Okay, I didn't want to actually write that part in caps. That said, yes people, finally we're going to do this properly. Pay attention step by step, no skipping. Step 1, delete all input actions. Go to content, input folder, delete move forward and move right input actions. Keep your input mapping context, we'll reuse it. Okay, so let's go here, let's go ahead and delete that. Let's force delete, and let's delete this. Let's go ahead and force delete that as well. Now let's open the chat back here. Brother, can you explain DDL proxying after this? Honestly, I didn't like work with DDL, but I don't think that I like work with DDL proxying type stuff. But eventually if I ever do that, I might actually look into that stuff. Okay, DeepSeek isn't good for these tasks. ChatGPT is better. I see. Okay, step 2, create a single input action. Right click, input folder, input action, name it IA move. Okay, so first let's go ahead and create a new input action. So I'm gonna go ahead and click add. Let's go with something like input action. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and click it. This is gonna be called something like IA move, IA underscore move. There we go. Okay, is Unreal Engine easy to learn? Honestly, for the time being, it is a bit complicated, but then that's because I just started like 5 days ago or something. But I feel like eventually, once we get a pretty good grasp of it, it is going to be easy. That's the reason I'm like trying really hard to get it to work at least once, because if I get it to work once, then I feel like my muscle memory would like remember what I did, and I'm going to be trying implementing other logic as well type stuff. That's a double click to open it, change its value type to access 2D. So double click to open it, change its value type to access 2D. This means it will handle both X, right, left, so you don't need separate forward anymore. Okay, I see the reason I couldn't move is because I didn't add like okay, let me try this before I actually like try saying something, because I feel like that might be wrong that I was gonna say. Let's see. Okay, let me go all the way up here. Delete your content browser, did that. Now I gotta go ahead and double click this. In the double click section, I gotta change my value type. So do I see a value type? I see a value type to access 2D. Let's change it to access 2D, which is going to be a 2D vector. This means it handles both x-axis, right, left, and y-axis. Okay, and then you don't need separate forward slash right anymore. Now, step 3, add keys to IA underscore move, open your input mapping context. So I gotta go ahead and open my input mapping context. Excuse me guys, drop IA move into it. Okay, let's go ahead and drop my IA move inside my input mapping context. Now inside that, I'm going to go ahead and add a key. So this is my first key. Okay, I can add 3 whole keys now. Wait, no man, I gotta delete these are my old keys. Okay, so now add key bindings. So I gotta go ahead and add key bindings. So this is going to be IA move. Now if I want to go all the way up here, okay, so I'm assuming this is going to be W. And then let's go with something like S. Okay, let's change that to something like S. And then I'm going to go with something like A. And lastly, let's go with something like D. WASD for my IA move. Where do I set -1? I don't see a scale value to set it to be -1. Mapping profile, input modes, input filter. Okay, map elements. So, okay, use assets as folder. Okay, let me actually step 4, add movement function and blueprint. Open your pawn blueprint, go to event graph, search IA move. Okay, before that, let me actually check something. Brother, the texts are too small to see. Why? Honestly, probably because like I can't zoom in. It is really small. Can we increase it somehow? Because I don't think like control and plus actually works here. It does not actually work. Like I think the texts are like small like this type stuff. That's it. What if I like increase the size? Yeah, I think the texts are really small, guys. Okay, that is input mapping context. So let me actually extend my size up. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now let's go some say slash ChatGPT back here. Let me say I don't see the place where to add -1 and +1 type stuff. Okay, let's go with this part. Let's copy that part. Okay, let's go ahead and paste it. Maybe zoom in a bit. No need for scale. Oh, I don't need scale? Okay, I guess. I think we could do that in the code section. Then for step 4, open your pawn blueprint, go to event graph, right click, search IA move, okay, add the node to input action, IA move, drag off values, split structure pin. Now you have XY, add a custom function called move, we'll put the movement logic there, connect IA move to the function. Okay, let's do the step 4 first. Add modifiers. Okay, let's go ahead and do the step 4 first. Let me get that in the other screen so I can read while doing it. Okay, let's scroll all the way up here. There we go. Now, I gotta open my blueprint pawn. So that is my blueprint pawn. I gotta go to event graph. This is my event graph. And then search for IA move. How do I search for IA move? Okay, let's get that back here. Okay, now, in my detail section, so right click. It said right click. Can I just right click? Oh, there we go. Okay, I can right click. Now I gotta go ahead and search for IA move. Let's go with IA underscore move. Okay, so enhanced events. I see two IA moves, one in my input, one in my enhanced action values. Okay, and then add that node. Okay, guys, should I go with the first IA move or the second IA move? Left click, so left click. Okay, left click actually doesn't work. I think right click did work, but then if I go to IA underscore move, I see two IA moves. Should I go with the top one that enhances my action events or the bottom one that enhances my action values? Okay, add movement function. The up. Okay, and now once again, guys, this is so small. Oh, wait, there we go. I mean, I'd still say it's like really tiny to really like see. It's like, I gotta like zoom in. Okay, now I see action value and triggered. Drag it off values to drag it off value. Okay, split structure pin. Now you have XY, the first one. Okay, now I have my enhanced this thing. Okay, one. I see. Okay, I'm in the first one. Now, drag it. So, drag. Okay. Should I connect this somewhere here? So I see event tasks. Okay, let's see. Let me say something like for the step 4. Let's go ahead and copy that step 4. Let's click the arrow. Click the arrow. Okay, do you mean like dragging it like this? Because I can actually drag it like this. I don't see an arrow though. Oh wait, click the arrow. Okay, event for input action. Note this is not guaranteed to fire every frame, only when the action is triggered and the current input modes includes gains. I see. No? Okay, in that case, wait, let me actually go ahead and copy this part. Okay, let's get some /ChatGPT up here. Hello YouTube, howdy Casman here. I appreciate you joining the stream. Game over, guys. I feel it's just begin. I feel like I'm really close to figuring this part out. The down node. What up, guys? The down node. Let me actually check that real quick, but let me just extend this. There we go. Okay, let's go. Let's increase the size from here. Let's scroll all the way down here. Add custom fonts. The arrow down of the node. More details. Oh, more details. Wait, hold up. Let me actually remove this part. Oh, there we go. Okay, I see. I see input action now. It looks challenging, brother. Do you spend time on video tutorials too? I did one yesterday. I spent like some time because like I do gotta like make YouTube videos too and like edit that stuff, so I do get caught up in that. But when I am kind of free, I do actually try working on this stuff. Yesterday, I was specifically looking for like tutorials that use code to do this stuff, but then apparently I think I have to like use this stuff, like use my event graph. Okay, now let's get some /ChatGPT up here. Let's read the instructions. Okay, input action. Add the node input action to IA move. So I gotta add the node input action to IA move. So I don't see where's IA move up here. That is IA move. Okay, let's get some /ChatGPT back here. Let me go ahead and paste this part up here, the thing that I just did. Okay. Let's go all the way down. Let's paste this here. Go with something like shift enter and say something like sensei. I'm a bit. What up, guys? Let's go with something like sensei. I'm a bit confused in this step. I added IA move to my event graph. Okay, then when I clicked, let's say something like, maybe ChatGPT has to tell him the direction of WASD. Guys, where is, I mean, I know the direction of WASD, like, where do I add this stuff? Let me get my Unreal Engine here real quick in my other window, so I can, like, see what I'm typing up here. Okay, let's get that a bit up here. There we go. Now, let's say I'm a bit confused. Okay, then when I added IA move to my event graph. Maybe I go ahead and like correct my spelling up here. Let's go with IA underscore move to my event graph. Okay, and then ICA. Let's go with something like ICA enhanced 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 input action IA move ACTION action IA underscore move that has, let's go with something like that has a bunch of should I say points to it, question mark. It has a triggered, okay, and under that let's go with something like, and under that started, under that let's go with something like ongoing, under that let's go with something like cancelled, under that there's completed, okay, and under that let's go with something like, under that there's action value, under that there's elapsed 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 seconds. Did I pronounce it? PSESECONTS. Under that triggered seconds, so let's go with triggered seconds. What up guys, there we go. Okay, and then and lastly under that there's input action. Guys, this was a mouthful to type, actually a handful to type. That's it. Okay, now add function and name it move in the tab left plus, and name it move beside the function. I see. Okay, maybe let's go ahead and extend it from here first. Okay, first I think I'll read it. Yes, people, pay attention. This is where most people get lost. I'll walk you through it. The IA move node is enhanced input action, and all those pins you just saw are just events you can respond to. Here's what matters. What we care about right now, trigger. This is the pin that fires every frame if the key is pressed or the axis is non-zero. This is the one you want to use for continuous movement action value. This is the vector axis duty that tells x-axis, y-axis what to do next. Drag a wire from trigger, call it your main function, call it your move function. When I drag it, where do I drop it? Drag a wire from action value, split structure pin. Okay, here's the thing. We use trigger action value split movement, that's it. Okay, let me say something like, when you say drag, I'm so confused. Should I attach it to something, question mark? Okay, wait, let me get my Unreal Engine up here real quick. Let's go ahead and extend this. Okay, now when we say drag, does it just mean drag? Because I can drag it, but I could add a function. Okay, I gotta go. This was an amazing stream, W. Honestly, I appreciate you sticking through the stream. Wow, I'll catch you next stream. Hold up, guys. I could actually drop this stuff up here. ChatGPT makes you learn a bunch of stuff, but it's very, very shallow, and sometimes even info docs and such teach you slowly but give you deep info that actually does make sense. I might try it. There we go. Okay, that works. I could just leave it. I thought that because I'm used to using nodes in like DaVinci Resolve, so it's like if I extend it, I gotta attach it to something, but it works without attaching as well. This might change everything. Hold up, guys. Let me tell that to Sensei real quick. Okay, let me say something like, let's say I did not know that I didn't have to attach it. Okay, can we go again, question mark? What to do once I drag something and what to drag again? Okay, GPT actually hallucinating a lot. That actually does make sense. Hi, hiding Nikhil. I appreciate you joining the stream. That's it. Yes, people, focus. We do it slowly. Exactly what you gotta do. Take triggered pin from drag it, release an empty space. Okay, choose call function move. Okay, let's do that first. This means when the player presses key, move function works. Okay, now let's open this. Let's go to trigger, drag in an empty space. Call function. Let's go with something like move. Okay, I see move component too. I see a bunch of moves. Okay, now add a function and name it move in the tab left plus, and name it move beside the function. Executable actions. Wait, functions. So I see a bunch of moves here. Okay, now add function and name it move. How do I add a function here? Okay, bro, do you understand Hindi? Honestly, I do understand, but I can't like read it, or like I can talk a bit, but I'm not like as fluent in it because I don't like mostly words and phrases type stuff. That said, I do like understand if I like hear the stuff though. That said, let's see. So I see actor. How do I add a function that actually makes sense? Says after advice against God that follows by not applying. Guys, that actually does make sense. Okay, can you give us your computer specs? I am using the MSI's motherboard, 32 GB RAM, and I think it's Intel Core i9. That's it. If you guys do want to see the exact way I built my PC, I do have a video on that on my stream. Stupidity level max, lol, guys. That actually does make sense. I gotta like actually figure this part real quick. I feel it's gonna be so much easier if I get to experience how to do it correctly one time. That said, drag it, release it in an empty space. Choose call function, move. Oh, choose call function. Hold up, guys. I think I wrote the wrong stuff. This should be called something like call function. Okay, call. Wait, I think I spelled function wrong. Call function. Nothing happens. Executable actions. Okay, bye brother. I'm going to work on myself too. Good luck. Make sure to learn, not solve. That actually does make sense. I appreciate you sticking to a stream long story. I'll catch you next stream. Okay, that's it. Let me say something like this part. So let me say something like, let's copy this part, paste it here. Let's say something like, let's say when I drag my trigger to an empty space, I get another tiny node pop up, and I can search stuff there. But when I search move, or let's go with something like move or call function, I don't see those things. Okay, let's see. Where you live? Honestly, guys, I used to say that much, but these days I don't like answer that question for like safety reasons type stuff. That's it. Bye, long story. Okay, I see what's happening, people. Don't panic. Don't panic. Here's the deal. If you can't call function move yet, you haven't actually created the move function inside your Pawns' blueprint. That's why nothing shows up. Do this first. In your Pawns' blueprint on the left side, under my blueprint functions, click the button plus a button, name it move. Double click move function. Now you're inside it, ready to add the move logic. I think I see. Okay, let me get this in the other window real quick so I can actually read the instructions while doing it. Vivek uses HD Total, not Faker Company PC, lol. Does it actually HD totally? Honestly, by HD, did you mean like HP? Because like I have an HP laptop, but I don't use it for like streaming because I feel that's like way too slow for streaming, guys. That's it. Let's see. So now I gotta go to my pawn blueprint. So I am in my pawn blueprint. On the left side, under my blueprint, on the left side. So I'm assuming this is my left side, and then under it, I gotta go ahead and find functions. Can I go ahead and add a function here? I do not see a function in my ad here, so I do not add a function just yet. But my blueprint functions. I don't see functions here though. Oh, I see functions. Okay, click the plus button. I click a plus button. Name it move. I gotta name it something like move. Okay, now add a function and name it move in the left tab. Okay, and name it move beside the function. Oh, I see. There we go. Let's name it something like move. I have a function called move, but guys, I just see one pawn. I just see one node now. Okay, double click move. Double click move. Okay. Nothing happens if I double click move. So let's see, double click. Okay, maybe I double clicked it once. I think that should be good because this is my event grab. That's my move. Okay, once double click move, now you're inside it, ready to add the movement logic. He doesn't listen to me. That's the problem. Oh, honestly, guys, I actually do listen, but I don't like where to go type stuff. Like, is this what you meant when you said to create a move function? Because this makes so much sense now. Okay, once that's done, go back to your event graph. I go back to my event graph, drag the trigger from IO move, release empty space. Now when you search move, the move will appear. So let's go here. Let's search something like move. Move does appear. Okay, so I gotta click move. There we go. Okay, we're basically telling you, hey engine, let's get Synthase slash chat GPT here. I think Couchman here, I appreciate you joining the stream. So let's extend this all the way up here. Okay guys, I think the move function is in. I think we're good. Let me say something like Sensei. I see the move function now. I added an exclamation. What's next? Okay, what's the next step? Let's see. Good, finally we're cooking, people. Now inside the move function, we're going to take x and y values from your IA, move, and nodes and use them to actually move pawn. Here's what to do. Go back to your event graph. You should still have IA move, node, drag value, IA move, release it. Okay, I gotta drag value. This time choose split structure pin. Okay, split structure pin. He says a statement makes sense and never applies it. Guys, actually that actually does make sense because I do gotta like apply that stuff as well. But when I say it makes sense in the theory part. When I try doing it, I feel like I actually did not understand how to think that stuff. Okay, drag release add actor local offset. Okay, let me get this in the other window so I can like read it while doing it, that stuff. There we go. Of course he wants to not learn. Lol, guys, I feel like I do want to learn type stuff. That's it. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get close to this part. So this is a bit bigger. Now, do I see value here? I see action value. By value, did Sensei slash chat GPT mean action value? Let me scroll all the way down because he believes chat GPT. That actually does make sense, guys. Although ChatGPT does make mistakes so many times, but I feel like eventually if I give it like the correct prompt and say my exact situation, there is a chance that it sometimes actually helps too. Add two variable inputs, x-axis and y-axis. Okay, this time I understand that because before I didn't understand like how to add function inputs. Should I add a variable from here? Okay, so value, a move, add to variable input axis. Inputs x-axis, y-axis. This is Boolean. Loading point. Let's change this to be, let's rename, hit R. Let's name this something like x-axis. Okay, x-axis, y-axis. So x underscore axis. And then I'm going to go ahead and create another variable called y-axis. Let's go ahead and create a floating point of y-axis. I did honestly want to do this part. Let's go with something like y-axis. I wanted to do this part using the code, but I might try this first and then I'll go with the code. Okay, choose split. Now you have x and y. Drag value from IA move to value. I don't see value. I see action value. Okay, wait, let's get Sensei slash chat GPT back up here again. Let's go ahead and extend this part. Okay, let's extend it from the bottom as well. Now, here's a quick question. Let me say something like, Sensei, what did you mean by a value question mark? I see action value, but not a regular value. And also, did I need to create two floating point variable on the left side of my event graph question mark called x underscore axis and y underscore axis? Okay, let's see. Yes, people, that value I'm talking about is exactly the action value pin on IA move. No, that's Unreal Enhanced way of giving you the input vector. You do not need to create separate floating point variables, okay, unless you want to store them for some reason. Here's what to do clearly. IA move node action value, right click, structure pin, okay. Now you'll see two pins, x-axis, y-axis. Those represent forward and back and left and right. Drag x-axis pin to your move function connected to the scale value of your movement node, okay, like add movement input. I think I see. What up, guys? This somehow actually is making some kind of sense right now. Let me go all the way down though. There we go. Now, I'm gonna be removing them for the time being, I guess, because I don't think I want to store it type stuff. Let's remove those. I'm gonna get my action value up here, and then I go with something like split struct pins. Wait, action value pin. IA move, not action value pin. Right click. What up, guys? It's set to right click. Split struct pin. Okay, I see x-axis and y-axis. Now you'll see two pins, x-axis and y-axis. I see those represent forward and back. Drag x-axis pin to my move, drag x-axis pin to my move. Okay, okay, move function connected to the scale value, should I type something like scale value? Nope, there's nothing called scale. Connected to the scale value of your movement node. Wait, scale value of movement node, what does that part mean? And then drag y pin into your move function connected to the scale value of movement node, right vector. Okay, I did not understand that part though. What up guys, let's go ahead and extend this part real quick. Okay, so that's the one part I didn't understand. So let's say something like, okay, let's scroll all the way down and say something like, let's say, maybe scroll all the way down real quick. There we go. Let's say something like, since say I did split, okay, my struct pin, okay, and connected my x to my move function. But what did you mean by connect it to scale value question mark? Okay, and make it type float. Okay, that actually makes sense. When I say connected to scale value, I mean inside your move function, you need to actually move the pawn. You do this with a node like add actor local offset, the x-axis forward. Okay, how do I do it? So x-axis forward vector. Wait, let me say something like, let's go with something like, how do I do that part though? Question mark. Okay, let's see. Alright people, listen closely, this is critical. Here's step by step what you need to do inside your move function in the blueprint. Open your move function. You just created get your pawns forward right vector. Okay, move function, you just created get your pawns as forward vector. Double click in the move. What up guys, so double click in the move and add two variables in the left panel. Inputs name, x-axis, y-axis. Double click my move. Okay, and add two variables in the right panel input. Honestly, do you mean like the left side, like this side? Like I can add two variables here. Let's go with 1, 2. Both are going to be floating point. I'm going to go ahead and call this something like x underscore x-axis to x-axis. Let's change that to y-axis. Let's go with something like rename y underscore axis. Okay, now once I'm done with that, can I? Okay, double click and move two variables. Click move. Okay, click move. And then, okay, once I click move, let's see. Okay, click in the move. Okay, once I click in the move, let's see. So once I click in the move, let me actually check the delay too, because there is like a small bit of delay. I see inputs. And in the right, in my details tab, because that is my right and this side is my left type stuff. That said, while the okay, Vivek would replace the brain he has with GPT, guys, I don't think if that's like a compliment, because I feel I would be like really smart in that case. That's it. Let's see. So open your move function. Okay, opened it. Get your pawns as forward right vector. Right click, get actor vector added. Okay, click the move one time. Click the move one time and input x-axis and y-axis. Click the move one time and then I see inputs here. Please press plus icon to add parameters. Inputs x-axis and y-axis. I think I don't need these in that case. Okay, maybe let me actually ask for a better way to do it. Let me say something like, let's say I didn't understand question mark. Can we go in a bit more detail question mark? So I okay, let's see what was the last part that I did here. Okay, I did split my structure and pin my value. Okay, I did strict my structure, pin and connected my x-axis to my move function. Okay, so there we go. So I did split and connect it to my move function, but I don't know what to do now, question mark. Now, question mark. Should I go inside my move function? Should I go inside my move function, question mark? Click the plus in inputs and add two variables. Oh, I see. Okay, I could try that. Okay, so in my inputs section here, let's click it once. In my inputs section, add two variables. Let's add a floating point variable of something like x, x underscore axis. And then let's add another one called, let's say something like y underscore axis. I'm going to go ahead and change this to be something like y underscore axis. Okay, and then my move function does have x-axis and y-axis now. Okay, once I'm done with that, let's read the chat up here. Okay, so double click move, go inside that. Okay, get your pawns forward and right directions. Right click in the graph. Okay, get actor forward vector, add it. I'm assuming add it to my move function. Get forward. Okay, so right click, go with something like get vector. Get forward. What was the function name? Vivek trusts GPT more than his father. Guys, trusting GPT more than father is kind of crazy type stuff. Get actor right vector. So let's go with something like get actor right vector. Let's go with something like right vector. There we go. And then add it. Add it, right? Okay, I added that part. Okay, compile, go to the graph and connect it to IA move. I see. Okay, let's go here. So right click, get actor. So right click, get actor, add it, and then add it. These tells Unreal which forward and which right. Oh, I see. Okay. So my target goes in my x-axis, right? X-axis and y-axis. So I have my return value. Hold up. Let me say I got my get actor right vector. So I got my get actor right vector up here. Is there a forward vector? Get actor forward vector. Get your pawns as forward position. Multiply the vectors by your input. Drag off the x pin to the action value. Search float vector connect. Drag y pin. Okay. Wait, let me say something like let's go one step at a time. Should say. So someone from my chat said me to create two input variables inside my let's say something like inside my main function. I called one x underscore axis and one y underscore axis. Both are floats. Okay, and then after that, like you said, I right clicked my window, still being inside my main function, and added a add forward. What's it called? Add forward. Okay, so it was called get actor forward vector. Let's delete this real quick. Let's right click. Let's go with get actor forward vector. There we go. Get actor forward vector. So I created a get actor forward vector. Give this to ChatGPT. Okay, enhance connect to white pin and add movement. Then get input control value x-axis with the right vector rotation. Okay, actually I could send that after I'm done sending this. Okay, let's go with something like function. I added a get actor. Let's go with something like get actor forward vector. Let's go with something like vector. What should I do next? Let's go with something like what should I do next, question mark. And now if I just send this, let's see what happens. Okay, let's see. Good people, you're starting to think like a sensor. Let's go step by step. Multiplying the x-axis by the forward vector. Drag off the return pin of your get actor forward vector. Search float vector for the float. Excuse me, guys. For the float inputs, multiply. Excuse me again, guys. For the float input of this multiply node, use your x-axis variable. This means your forward back movement is scaled. Okay. Drag off the return pin of your get actor. What is a return pin? Oh, there we go. Return value. I'm assuming return pin is like return value. And then once I'm done with that, what is the next thing that I should do? Search for float vector. Float vector. For the float input of this, multiply the node. Okay, so let's open my code here. Let's drag off my pin. I gotta search for float vector. Okay, so what was it called again? So I gotta search for float vector. Float vector. I'm assuming it's this. There we go. Okay. And white pin with another, add input movement, input and get control, rotation, return value z within rotation z of get forward vector, return value with the world direction and the scale value with y-axis. Give this to ChatGPT. Copy all of this and give it to ChatGPT. Honestly, I could actually give it. Give me a second. Let me actually just write this part real quick. Okay, let's go ahead and check this. This means your forward back movement is scaled by how much the player is pushing. Okay, for the float input, this multiplies. Okay, I think it's done. And he'll give you step by step. Okay, let me actually copy it. Okay, in this world, add movements. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and copy that part. Let's paste it here. And then let's go ahead and copy this part as well. Okay, let's copy that. Paste it here. Let's go with something like T. And then let's go ahead and copy this part. And paste it here as well. Okay, perfect. Now, once I'm done with all that, let's go something like all the way down here and say something like, whoops, let's go with Control Z. Maybe delete that extra space. Now, I'm gonna go with Control Z and say something like, let's say someone from my, let's go with something like, someone from my chat said me to send this to you. Okay, let's see. Okay, please give all 3 messages. Honestly, I did add all 3 messages. Okay, listen close, people. I'll break this down into a step-by-step plan so you can execute it and move the function without getting lost. Step 1, forward movement x-axis. Get your x-axis variable. Drag off x-axis, multiply it by some speed like 600. Drag off white execution pin in your move function. Add movement input. For world direction, drag off self, get control rotation, break it. Okay, step 2. Okay, connect. What up, guys? Maybe I gotta get this in the other window so I can like see the reference while actually doing it. Wait, in that case, should I like delete these 2 things from here? Like my converts a float vector to a string. Let me go ahead and delete that real quick. Okay, and then let's go ahead and check this up. No, he did it wrong. Wait, was the message wrong? Or was the reply wrong? Multiply x-axis, drag off the return pin of your get actor. Wait, is the it's like the steps wrong here? Okay, in that case, let's see. Let me actually try using some logic as well here real quick. Okay, let's go ahead and extend this, zoom in a bit. Scroll down, go all the way here. Okay, now let's think. This is my main function. Inside my main function, is there something that I might need? My graph, I connected this, so I connected my triggered in my move. My trigger is triggered, and then I move. I have x-axis, I have y-axis. Wait, should my x-axis value be connected to my x-axis and y-axis be connected to my y-axis? Is it something like that? Guys, if I had like the ChatGPT Plus, I could like send pictures as well. That would be kind of cool. Okay, that's it. Wait, let me go back to ChatGPT and say something. Okay, let me get my Unity in my other tab real quick. Okay, there we go. Let's scroll all the way up here. There we go. Now, let me say something like, let's say, so I went back to my event graph and I see my move function. I see my enhanced. Let's go with something like input action. Let's go with input action. IA move. Let's go with something like IA move. Okay, and I connected. What up, guys? Enhanced input. Let's go with something like IA move. Okay, and then I connected my trigger. Let's go with something like trigger. Okay, I connected my trigger to my move function. So I connected it to my move function. And then my action value X and action value Y, I connected it to my X axis and Y axis in my move function. Okay, is that what I had to do? Okay, let's see. Okay, is this what I had to do type stuff? Yes, exactly. I told him to contact me and he refused. Honestly, I usually don't like contact like on stream type stuff. GPT is not good Unreal teacher for Will. It's too straightforward and gaslight just to solve one problem. Very practice, to be honest. That actually does make sense. I should read docs. Like yesterday, I did like watch like a few tutorials type stuff. I'd say it did help, but I was mostly focusing on the coding section, like how do I do this using code. But then I do want to try it using event graph because most videos was using event graph type stuff. That's it, yes, people. That's exactly the first step. You've connected the input action, IA move function, x-axis, y-axis variables. I guess that's what we needed. Next step, inside the move function, drag your x-axis variable multiplied by speed. So I got to drag it, multiply by speed like 600, drag off the white execution pin. First, let's do these. Let's go one step at a time. Open Discord and try connect what I did with the image in your channel. Alright guys, let me actually open Discord real quick. So there we go. Okay, and then let's go to something like, I'm assuming C/C++ chat. There we go. Okay, let's see. Honestly, I don't like see anything in the C/C++. Is it like in general? Because like, here's the Discord server. Let's go ahead and get this a bit here. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and extend it from here. Maybe remove this part. There we go. So I do see, I don't like see anything in like my C/C++. Let's go with something like hello exclamation. Okay, now let's go to something like C/C++. I don't see anything here though. I've been watching Viv for a while now. I just stick around to see the boy learn anyway he wants and want to see how much he learned over time. That actually does make sense, guys. That's it. Let's go ahead and exit this real quick. Now drag your x-axis variable, multiply it by speed like 600. So in my Unreal, I'm assuming I gotta go ahead and drag something. Okay, I gotta drag my x-axis variable. Oh, I see. Okay, and then I go with something like speed. Can I add speed here? Okay, so break plan speed to, okay, speed by 100. Although the speed he's learning at from ChatGPT is very slow, he could have done so much more just by following tutorials, but it's okay. I mean, that does make sense actually. I should like start with tutorials. I wish that YouTube didn't have like copyright, so I can like watch the tutorials on stream and get help as well. Drag your x-axis variable, multiply by speed. Okay, so let me say something like let's say by dragging my x-axis variable, okay, should I search for speed question mark? Okay, let's see. No, people, don't search for speed. Speed is just a number you pick. Oh, I'm inside my, wait, I should go inside my inside my move function. Okay, so you've connected this thing. Next time, move inside the function. There we go. Let's move inside my function. Go with x-axis. And then speed. Speed. Okay, I don't see speed up here. Is there a different way to actually add speed? Okay, let's see. So, drag your x-axis variable. Multiply by speed. So, if I were to right click, can I get multiply? I see a multiply here. Okay, well, let me delete that real quick. Let's go here. Let's go with something like multiply. Okay, by speed 600. Add pin. Okay, channel please. So let's see. Honestly, guys, I don't like see any comments. I mean, I don't see like anything in my C++ chat. Is it like in general? I don't see anything in general as well. Or like, is it in something like coding help? Oh, it is in coding help. Hey, Lenore, I'm the one from your chat. Try this. Okay, so move and then... Oh, okay, wait. I think this makes sense. So this is my move function. And then I go to add movement input. This is going to be connected to scale value. Okay, and y-axis is going to be connected to scale value. Okay. So, Wait, I think I see. Okay, so I gotta get move. I gotta get control rotation. Let me get this in the other tab so I can actually like see it type stuff. Okay, let's get it here. There we go. Okay, so firstly, my x-axis, let's go ahead and remove this part. So let's delete this. Now, I gotta go ahead and add something like an input. Let me remove my details tab from here real quick. Maybe I go ahead and cancel that. Let's go ahead and give myself some more space up here. Components. Let's go ahead and just remove that for the time being. My move is kept up there. I gotta go ahead and right click, add move input. Let's go with something like add move input to add move input. There we go. Let's add that somewhere here. Okay, and then get control rotation. Let's get my control rotation. So get control. Okay, to get control rotation. I get one here, and then I gotta get right vector. So I gotta get right vector. Let's go with get right vector. There we go. So I have the three stuffs here. Now to connect it all, I connect this. So let's connect this with that. Okay, so I connected my move with my add movement input, and then I connect my x-axis by my scale value. Okay, and then I go ahead and connect my y-axis by, let's say, what do I connect my y-axis with? My scale value as well? Okay, let's go with scale value. Oops, I think x-axis goes with scale value here. Do I need another movement, or do I need like another stuff here? Okay, W, shout out Shalwood for the effort. Honestly, guys, actually, because he's been helping for the whole stream. Okay, let's see. So I want to go. Okay, let's see. So get control. Oh, that is right vector. So I think I'm done. I've done everything with right vector. I gotta create one for forward vector as well. But this thing needs to be connected right here. Okay, is that correct? Because I think the picture, it has like more to it. Like if I were to extend this part real quick, whoops, let's go ahead and extend it from here. There we go. I feel like the picture's got like in rotation X, in rotation Y, in rotation Z. Get control rotation. For some reason, my control rotation does not have these three return values to it. Okay, maybe let's go down here. My get control rotation, it doesn't have those three values. I think I'll just try it this way, and then let's duplicate this. Can I hit something like Control C to copy, Control V to paste? That does work, guys. Okay, now let's go with this. Control C to copy. Let's paste it here. There we go. Let's get this all the way up here. I connect my y-axis to my scale, but my move is connected to this though. What happens if I do that? Let me delete this part real quick in that case. Okay, wait, let's delete this. To get right vector. Wait, should it be get actor right vector? Was it get actor right vector, guys? Okay, it's get right vector. Return value is world direction. Let's connect my return value to my world direction. Okay, and then next up, return value X is gonna be in X. Return value Z is gonna be in Z. Return value, there is no X. Okay, target, maybe I don't need this part. Oops, how do you like remove the link? Break this link. Okay, rotation, right vector. How do I connect this part? Let me think. Right click, target. Should I go with something like add? Okay, let me actually say this to Sensei/ChatGPT, what I've been doing here. Oops, maybe let me get this in the other window real quick. Zoom out a bit so I can see stuff. Get Sensei/ChatGPT up here. Okay, let me say something like, Sensei, someone from my chat said me to try doing this. Okay, let's go with Shift Enter. So, get control rotation. Get control rotation, and get control rotation. Let's go with something like get right vector. Okay, and then I gotta go ahead and get, let's say something like add movement input. Let's go with something like add movement input. There we go. And then after that, let's say something like after that, Okay, once I'm done with that, I gotta connect x-axis from my move to scale. So I need to connect x underscore axis from my moves as node, okay, to my, let's say something like add movement input. Let's go ahead and copy that real quick, paste it here. Add movement vectors is, let's say, add movement vectors is let's go with something like scale value. Let's go with something like scale value. And then I gotta go ahead and what else? Connect my get right vector. So I'm gonna get my right vector here. Okay, and then get right vector. I got to connect that to my world direction. Let's go with something like world direction of my, let's go ahead and copy my add input vector. Let's copy that. Let's add a pair of quotes here, paste it. There we go. Okay, and then connect my move to my, let's go ahead and paste this here. There we go, to my add input. But I feel like something is missing. The pic that he sent me had 3 return values in his get control rotation. Copy that. In his get control rotation, I just have a return value. Okay, let's see. Now let's get Unreal here. Maybe get it back up there. I see what's happening, people. The picture your chatmate sent you is a bit misleading. Unreal rows shows the return value, rows pitch. From your move function, axis multiply speed by 600. Guys, do you guys think I should watch like a tutorial in it? Because I feel like ChatGPT is kind of confused in this section. Well, direction control, that's it. You don't need 3 return values. Get controller, get control rotation. Maybe I'm going to be using the final of my chat, guys, because I might actually go next stream. So I'm going to go with something like Windows Shift S. Take a picture up here. Usually taking a picture ends the conversation quickly, but I think that might as well do it because I might actually end the stream right now as well. Okay, let's go ahead and get this here. There we go. Let's say something like, let's say this is the, let's go with something like, this is the pick for what I did, okay, and the second and third pick is the one the guy sent me on Discord. Now I'm gonna go ahead and open Discord here. Let's go ahead and hit Windows Shift S, copy, take a picture of that, go here, go with Windows Shift S again, take a picture of this. Now let's paste these pictures down here. So I'm gonna go all the way there. Let's go right here. Alright guys, which was my second and third picture real quick? I'm assuming that's my second picture and that's my third picture. Let's go ahead and send it. Guys, this should work now. I'm pretty sure this is going to be ending my conversation right now. It's going to say I reached my limit. Alright people, I see exactly what's happening. Your first screenshot is what you did and the other two is the person from Discord. Let's break it down. Here's the issue. Your first screenshot, you're connecting I'm lucky guys, the chat didn't end directly. X-axis straight to add movement input without splitting the control rotation into roll pitch, and you're just using the return value. That's why your pawn isn't moving properly. You need to extract your rotation Z proper. Discard screenshot. Notice how they use get control rotation, return value, XYZ, okay, that's critical. The X and Y from IA nodes should go to the scale value of the corresponding add movement. Go step by step here. Excuse me guys, use this. Okay, inside your move function in Blueprint, get control rotation, drag from self. Okay, search get control rotation. Right click on the node to split structure. You have XY. Use this. Is there another picture? Sure, try this. Okay, let's go ahead and open that, get that all the way here. Okay, wait, can I actually copy that? Okay, let's go ahead and copy that. Go with Control C. And then let's open my Unreal Engine here. Maybe I go ahead and delete this. Let's go ahead and paste this. Okay, that actually did work, the copy pasting stuff. Oops, let's go with... Okay, how do I change this position? Maybe I just get my position a bit here. There we go, let's get that all the way here. Can't I move it? There we go. Okay, so this is everything up here. Okay, I see these things here. When I did it, it did not work, honestly. There we go, let's go ahead and exit that. Now, I gotta go ahead and connect this to this. Okay, and then x-axis. Let me check the connections now. Okay, so there's x-axis to scale value, y-axis to scale value. Okay. Okay, W shouted for extra effort. Honestly, guys, W. Okay, let's see. Oh, we needed 2, so we need 2 add movement. X-axis for my scale value, y-axis for my other scale value. Should that be it? Brother, what are your PC specs? Honestly, I am using like the MSIS's motherboard. My Intel Core is i9 and I'm using 32GB RAM type stuff. If that's all specs is for. Now, let's hit compile. Okay, let's say something like done. Open this last message. Is there like another one? Oh, there we go. It's just like a W. Okay, let's see. Now, let's get some say/ChatGPT back up here. Let's say something like, he sent me a link and I did copy and paste that. Now, after being done with that, should I run the code question mark? Okay, copy it. Because you had to split the node to get those outputs. Oh, I see. Okay, once you've copied it, run the game. Okay, let's try running it. Copy it. Copy this. Okay, so Control-C to copy. Is there something else on this card? I think I just see like one thing, and then if I were to go to like C++ chat, there we go. Okay, and guys, I feel like you've been like really helpful for this. Might as well actually like go with something like, I don't know, maybe I might add a role of something like coding helper summon. There we go. Okay, do you actually want the coding helper summon? Because I feel that was like really helpful, honestly. That's it. Let's go all the way down here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go to my compile. I compiled it. Let's go to my untitled here. Okay, I see my my mesh here. Let's go with Control Alt F11. Let's go ahead and patch the code real quick. There we go. Let's go ahead and patch it. Okay, let's see. There we go, result succeeded. Now, if I were to go ahead and run the code, did I patch it successfully? There we go. Let's run the code, the moment of truth, guys. Okay, Shift F1 mouse cursor. Shift F1. Let's go with Shift F1 mouse cursor. Oh, I see. Okay, I still can't move myself for some reason, but I don't think that it's the... Did I like not... Did I miss something? We're halfway? Oh, we're halfway? Okay, wait, in that case, is there something else that I gotta add here? So this is Blueprint Pawn. Okay, WWE is still not there. Okay, we're still not there. Okay, so after I'm done with this part, is there something else that I gotta add here? Let's see. Maybe let's go to Discord and check. Okay, there's no other messages just yet. That's it, we're halfway. Okay, wait, let me say something like, say, someone from my chat said that we're not done yet, but we're halfway there. So by any chance, do you know what to do next? Question mark. Okay, let's see. Open project settings. Okay, open project settings. Okay, so I have my project settings open up here. Inside this, let's see. I see inputs. Should I go ahead and add my inputs? Okay, I did add my inputs up here. So in project settings, so let's go ahead and read it while because I wish like the streaming had this like this big of a delay type stuff. That's it. Inside your move function, you already split the structure pin for X and Y. You connected X to left. Okay, go ahead and add another movement input node for backward, forward. Okay. Okay, he's set to open project. Okay, world settings. Okay, let's see. Let me go to world settings. Okay. World settings, sorry. Let's go with something like world settings. There we go. So I see world settings here. Do I gotta click it? Oh, world, sorry. Just world. Okay, world. There we go. Okay, so I see a world here. Okay, worlds. So world. Okay, here. So in worlds, I see this. So I see editor startup map, and guys, let me actually check the stream delay in my phone as well to like see how long is it. I think it's like a 10-second stream delay. Okay, let's go ahead and on my blue light filter, because guys, I'm almost like blind without the blue light filter. That's it. Let's go all the way there. Maybe open my stream up. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now let's get that all the way here. Okay, let's see. So once I'm done opening my world settings, I see a editor map. So I see open world, and then I see open world. Maybe let's go ahead. Can you check chat and Discord? This is slow. Honestly, I could like go in Discord chat. So open world settings. Maybe can I zoom in? Zoom in doesn't actually work. Okay, guys, I wish there was in the left side up here. Okay, so it says open world settings. And then let's see, what if I like extend this window? Okay, I think that's a dumb idea, guys. Okay, so while that's being done, let me actually read Sensei/ChatGPT's chat. Okay, so let's see. Inside your move function, I gotta do all that stuff. If you want, I can draw a blueprint minimap showing exactly how nodes should be connected for both X and Y so you don't miss a pin. I mean, might as well. Let's say something like yes, sensei. Let's go with something like yes, sensei. Guys, currently what I'm doing is just stalling for time. Okay, go to something like Windows project settings. Oh, I see. Okay, I think I know. I think I know where to go. So I gotta go to something like Windows. What up, guys? Not quite sure. Let's go to Windows project settings. Okay, I did actually open the project settings. I could get it in the side as well, but I feel like having a whole tab is pretty good. Okay, I sent a message. Okay, to you. So Windows project settings. Honestly, I am like in project settings. Like, this is my project settings. Inside my project settings, is there something that I gotta do? Okay, okay. Let's say something like sensei. He said me to. He said me to open Windows and project settings. Okay, is there something that I need to do from there, question mark? Okay, let's see. Is there something I need to do from my project settings? Yes, people, this is critical. Enable enhance input in project settings. Go to edit project settings. Input, make sure default pawn class is set to my pawn or your pawn. Okay, let me get this in the new tab real quick. Okay, so I can actually read this while actually writing that part. What up, guys? I open my blue light filter real quick. Let me go ahead and exit that. He means Windows world settings. He means Windows world settings. Okay, wait, in that case, I go to Windows here, and then let's go to world settings. Okay, I see, so world settings. There we go, let's go ahead and extend this. Whoops. There we go. So I have my world settings up here. Now, in my world settings, my game mode override. Okay, wait, project settings. Okay. So go to edit project settings and put your default class. So if I were to go to edit project settings, is there a project settings? There we go. Okay, and then I gotta go to something like default pawn class. So default pawn class. Okay, default pawn class. Do I see it? Okay, I don't see that. Make sure default pawn class is set to my pawn. Okay, let's remove that. Can I see a default pawn class somewhere up here? Oh, in the input section. I gotta go to the input section. Now, my default pawn class. Let's go with something like default. Okay. Okay, plus game mode. Plus game mode. Oh, I see. Okay, so world settings. So it shows. Oh, I see this part. Okay, I think I know this part. We have to set game mode, man. World settings. Okay, I think I should add the window that you opened. Oh, okay. I think I see. Let's get this out of the way here. Okay, let's go to Untitled. There's my window that I just opened. Let me go to Discord. Maybe get this tab all the way here so I can like read the chats as well. There we go. Okay, now inside my world settings, I see advanced. So I see game mode. Okay. And then under my game mode, I see game mode override. This is gonna be my pawn. Let's go with something like, okay, BP underscore third. Can I go with something like BP? So let's go with something like BP. Okay, that's not this. So should I create like a new game mode? Because I remember doing this last stream. Let's I'm pretty sure I gotta go to somewhere like tools, create new class, and then create a game mode right here. So create game mode. Okay, let's see. Let's get. Actually, let's just get my Discord down for a bit. Maybe I'll get it back up here real quick because I want to like see if there were some other chats. Okay, so go here, world settings. Okay, after world setting, you have to set game mode. Now plus game mode, so world settings, and then plus game mode. Do I see a game mode here? Okay, I think I see. Now I'm gonna go ahead and exit this part. Let's get some ChatGPT. I think I see what you mean. We need to make like a game mode type stuff. Okay, so let's go all the way here. Let me go ahead and say something like Sensei. He meant world settings. Okay, and then he said to create a game mode. Should I create a game mode class question mark? Okay, do I need to create a game mode class? Okay, yes, people, listen carefully. This is the missing link. Your pawn can be perfect, your input is flawless. The game mode isn't set. The engine doesn't know what pawn to spawn. Okay, so right-click game mode class, right-click content browser, C++ class, game mode class. You need to set custom game mode like yesterday. Oh, okay, that might be easy in that case. Okay, in my game mode array, your pawn class, I gotta do that. Okay, assign your pawn, open game mode blueprint in the default class. Okay, let me get this here and do while I'm actually reading it. There we go, make custom game mode BP C++ and use that. Okay, wait, I see world settings here as well, but I'm gonna create a game mode real quick. I'll call this something like BP or C++ game mode BP. Let's go with something like my BP game mode. Let's go with something like blueprint game mode. Let's remove the base from here. Now let's go ahead and create a class. I created a class. Now inside my class, while it's compiling, let me get Sensei/ChatGPT chat up here again. Okay, let's see. Okay, the missing link. What up, guys? Let me scroll all the way down here. So this is my new class. Let's go ahead and reload all. Now, name it something like my game mode. I named it BP, my game mode. In my game mode, you can leave it mostly default, but your settings spawn. So I gotta copy this. Let's go ahead and paste this here. Okay, should I go ahead and include my game mode or something? Blueprint read only, category is game mode. Or if you're using blueprint, you can just do it there. Assign your pawn, open game mode blueprint. Okay, game mode blueprint in the default/class default set pawn. Let's open my Visual Studio real quick now. I gotta go ahead and open my blueprint. So I'm gonna go all the way here. Maybe in engine in my C++ classes. Alright guys, where did I create my blueprint? Maybe not here, maybe not in engine. Main function, there we go. So in my main function I have blueprint. Right click, create blueprint class. Should I create blueprint class? Open in your game modes is blueprint. Let's go ahead and create it. Okay, and that in the defaults, so defaults, class default, set default pawn to class to your blueprint. Wait, hold up, are we in the same page? Class defaults. Oh, I see, class defaults, set defaults. Let me get both my windows up here so I can actually see stuff. There we go. Okay, now set defaults. Set default pawn class to your pawn blueprint. Default pawn class. I see a default scene here. Where is a default pawn class? Okay, set in the game world settings. Okay, I think this is gonna be easy. There's like one more part left. Let me ask a question real quick. Howdy Pixels, I appreciate you joining the stream. Whoops. What up guys, let's get some Sensei/ChatGPT. Brother, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. Hiding Pixels. I feel like I almost got this part figured out, guys. Once I get it figured out I'm going to be working a lot off stream. Okay, now let me go ahead and copy this part. Let's firstly scroll all the way down. Let's copy this. Paste it here. Go with Shift Enter and say something like, Sensei, I am in the default. Actually, I'm in the class defaults. I'm in the class defaults for my game modes is blueprint. What to do next? I didn't understand the set default pawn class thingy. Okay, is it in the right or left or top question mark? Maybe in the bottom as well. That's let's see. Yes, people, focus. Don't get lost in the UI in your game mode blueprint when you open default classes. Look at the right side panel. Scroll until you see classes. There will be a property labeled default class. Click the drop down. Select your pawn blueprint, the one you made. Okay. Now, in the right, I gotta scroll all the way down till I don't see classes, or I could just start classes. Classes, and then I see default pawn class. Let's go ahead and set that to BP my pawn. There we go. I set it to BP my pawn, and then okay, make a custom game mode BP or the CBP, then use that. I see. Okay, I gotta go to pawn default. Your pawn's in blueprint. Let me say something like, done doing that, sensei. Okay, I'm done with that. Now the next part. Okay, good. Before hitting, let's see. Go to event graph. Open your blueprint pawn. Go to event graph. You should already have IA move node connected, move function, right? Check that in your begin play or in your blueprint. If you did that there, input mapping context is added to the player controller. Okay, hold up, guys. Let me say something like, so let's say I added, let's say this thing. So I added my BP underscore my pawn to my default pawn class. Okay, but I didn't understand what to do after that. Let's see what to do after that part. Excellent, people. That's the right step. Enhanced input context. Your pawn won't respond until IA move is added to enhanced input systems. If you're using blueprints, open your pawn blueprint event graph. Pawn blueprint begin play. Drag off the get player controller. Okay, let me get this in the other tab so I can like look at this while I'm actually typing. So I gotta go to my blueprint for my pawn. First, let's compile this. Hide. There we go. This is my blueprint pawn right here. Now let's zoom in a bit. There we go. That's my event graph. And then let's get this all the way here. I see a begin play here. Open Discord channel that added more instructions. Although you did all these steps now. Oh, did I? Alright, guys, let's check. After that part, now just save and play. Oh wait, it's done? Okay, can you tell him to open Discord? Guys, my bad, I should have opened Discord before. Okay, let's see. Now game mode. Are you kidding? You have been placed in timeout by owner. Huh, you have been placed in timeout by the owner of this video or moderators. Honestly, I think it's definitely Nightbot. Let me check. There we go. It's definitely Nightbot, guys. I gotta like do something while the Nightbot. For some reason, it just like times out for some reason. That's it. Let's see. So import blueprint class. Okay, so I did create a blueprint class. Okay, so game mode. Okay, I created a game mode. Respond. Okay, why did you make me timeout? Honestly, I didn't like timeout. So let me try to get the timeout off. Okay, I think the timeout is gone. It's definitely Nightbot. Add player start components in. Might be automod. Can you tell him to open Discord? Okay, let me see. Okay, what is this part? All classes, objects, game mode. So I did create a game mode class. Let me say something like, I did create a game mode class. Let's go with something like a game mode class and added it to my, I forgot, what did I add it to, guys? Hold up, let me say, added it to my default classes or something like that. Is that correct? Now, I gotta do something here. Hold up, guys. Okay, let me actually delete this part because I can't actually phrase what I did. And then play start and component. Player start component after you finish these. Add player start component. Okay, so I'm here. Once I'm done with everything, I'm positive that I did everything. Enhance map input. Okay, I see my enhanced map input here. Your pawn won't respond until IA move is enhanced, so I gotta go to BP, grab event grab, begin play, drag off the get player controller. Do I see get player controller? Still, I see started ongoing. I don't see get player controller. Cast your player controller, get enhanced input local subsystem, add mapping context, select IA move context. Let me actually open Discord on my phone so I can like see and do both at the same time type stuff. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay, now let me check while doing it at the same time. Let's go here. There we go. Okay, so I create some, assuming this is like blueprint class. So I see import features, blueprint class. I gotta click that. Okay, and then where is this part? All classes, all classes. Big parent class, guys, where even is that part? Okay, do you guys think I should like watch a few tutorial type stuff? Hold up, maybe let's go all the way right here. Okay, maybe I want to actually try running my game. It might actually work, honestly. Let's go with Control Alt F11. Did I like do almost everything? Because like after that part, now you just save and play. So I just save and play. Let's go ahead and exit this. Let's run the code. Okay, after that part, I save and play. Although the save and play does not work because I didn't add this thing here. Hold up, guys. I gotta go ahead and add my game mode here. My BP game mode. There we go. Okay, this should actually work. Let's hit Control Alt F11 again. Let's patch my code. Okay, there we go. Patching is done. Let's go ahead and get this shrunk. Let's run the code. Let's see what happens. I still can't move for some reason. Am I missing something? Because I feel like I've been doing everything. Did you already add this part? Okay, game mode. Did I already add this part? I'm trying to figure out where that part was. Let me see something like I was trying to figure out where the parent class, was it called parent class? I think it's called big parent class. I was trying to figure out where the big parent class was located, where the big parent class was located. Okay, let's see. Okay, and then I gotta go here. That is player. Okay, click selected. Click selected. Okay, so wait, should I go here? So in my details section, I went with BP my blueprint for my game mode. Click selected. Is selected somewhere up here, or should I go to my place here? Selected. Okay, can I like not see it? Okay, selected. Let me think really hard. Where's selected here? So selected game mode. There we go. And then default pawn. Let me get this back to normal. Okay, this is set to none. I can't add anything, but if my blueprint class is here, that is default blueprint. If I go with something like plus, let's go with contents. Okay, and then let's go with something like blueprints. Input. Wait, do I go with plus here? Default pawn class. Click selected. Default pawn class. Oh, I see. Okay. Wait, in that case, what should I add here? C++ classes, main function. In my engine, there's content, there's engine. Add the selected default pawn, okay. My default pawn is supposed to be my BP underscore pawn, but I don't see that here. Should I drag something in here? That is definitely inside my blueprints section. Should I hit save? That's a new pawn that I'm creating. Wait, because I cannot get this, like my default pawn here, I cannot get the drop down to actually drop down. Select game mode below the game mode. Select game mode below the game mode. So game mode. Okay, I see one game mode here. If I were to look at the picture again, that is selected game mode. Should I actually like delete this part and then select game mode under the game mode and then go with something like file, go with add, Use selected assets from content browser. Okay, let's go to content. Uh, okay, should I go with my blueprints? I think blueprints is like the only thing to do here. Let me go to my content browser. Inside my contents, I don't have blueprints anywhere up here. I have input. I have this content browser. Excuse me, guys. Okay, I see this. But if I were to go to my main project, so let's see. Okay, not this, the game mode that you created. Not this game mode, the game mode that you created. Okay, so the game mode that I created was this. Alright, guys, let me go ahead and go here. Okay, so this is the game mode that I created, the BP underscore my game mode. Okay, so I created this game mode. Okay, and drag your pawn and put it. Oh, wait, drag my pawn and put it. So, should it be, is it my blueprint pawn? Let me ask something like, is it, should I drag my blueprint pawn? Alright, guys, I'm really slow at tapping in my phone. Let's go ahead. Let's go all the way here. Let's see something like, should I, there we go. What up, guys? I think I'm making a lot of typos. Should I drag my BP underscore pawn? I'm assuming yes. Okay, let's go ahead and drag my BP underscore pawn, which is going to be my classes, I'm assuming, my content browser. There we go. There's my blueprint pawn with a camera set to it. Let's get it up. Okay, I see its point of view. Now, I still cannot extend this part if I go to BP pawn. I still cannot extend that. If I go to regular pawn, still cannot extend that. Okay, should I drag my BP pawn? I dragged it there, but then see if I go to ads, there's nothing else to add. If I go to files, okay. Okay, maybe I think this was, I already have a BP pawn. Might remove this. Okay, let's just turn around. Whoops. Alright, guys, let's open my Unreal real quick. Let me go ahead and turn around. There, I have a BP pawn here. Let me go ahead and remove this BP pawn because this pawn it had a camera, guys. Let's add another pawn. There we go. Now my pawn has a camera. Let's get it up. There. Although, even if I get it up, I cannot add this main part here. Maybe I try testing if it works without that. Okay, maybe I like did every single thing. Look, click. Okay, so look, click. Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and extend this. Click on the plus on the game mode override and make it a new one. So in my game mode override, I gotta click plus and make it a new one. New blueprint. Hold up, guys, this actually might work. There. Wait, I might go ahead and hit save, new one. My BP pawn. Okay. There we go. Is it this? Guys, is this like it? Let me actually go ahead and copy that. I'll go with Windows Shift S. Let's go here, copy that. Okay, let's go ahead and open Discord here to maybe get my picture up here, paste it, and say, is this correct, question mark? Guys, is this done? Let me try running the code real quick. Let me go ahead and open my second window up here. There we go. Now, open your BP My Game. Open your BP My Game. Wait, should I go ahead and add that here? Because if I add that here, then my bottom one, it disappears for some reason if I go with BP My Game mode. This gets back to the default pawn. But if I set this to be something like a new blueprint, then it does not. This is second one. I'm creating a lot of blueprints. Okay, let me try it. Let's see if I can actually move. So, yes, I have to go. Alright, child, I actually appreciate you sticking to the stream. The help was really helpful, guys. Okay, let's go with Control Alt F11. Let's patch this. Pretty sure it's gonna work now. Okay, guys, the moment of truth. Let's run the code. Alright, I still cannot move though. Wait. Alright, guys, maybe I want to check. Okay, now it's okay. Now play. I still cannot move though. I don't know why. I think I did everything correct though. only thing is that this is not my... Wait, hold up. Should I like open my game mode? Wait, not my game mode like that. Should I actually drag my game mode inside my map? Cause is my current mode the game mode? New project. Everything looked correct though. Choose files. Okay. If I go with plus, create new blueprint. Change the default pawn to your selected pawn now. Okay, let's go with pawn. There we go. Okay, new game mode 2. Let's hit something like Control Alt F11 to patch my code real quick. Okay, there we go. Once it's patched, let's go ahead and maybe go ahead and exit that. Run the code. Guys, will I be able to move? I still cannot move. Why is it not working though? I feel like I'm doing everything correct. Shift F1. Let's go with Shift F1. Get my mouse up. Okay, this is my player controller. Game state. Spectre pawn. Okay, so I have my Spectre pawns, guys. I have a feeling this shouldn't be as tough as it is right now. Maybe because I might actually just watch a whole video on doing this stuff. Okay, I think that would be a smarter choice, guys. Let's go ahead and it's something like escape. Now, let's go ahead and get some say/ChatGPT up here. Okay, maybe I do want to watch a video on doing this stuff. Last stream, yesterday I worked on something that's just based on code, doing this with code, but today I might try just getting it to work because I want to at least make my pawn move type stuff. So let me say something like, say, I might end the stream right now and try to figure this out off stream using videos. Okay, that said, before I do end the stream, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers, question mark? And also, can you add a shout out for, let's say, something like No Pro Studio? Okay, let's go with something like Studio and shout out. Okay, because they helped me understand a lot, to be honest. Okay, let's see. Honestly, guys, I do appreciate you guys so much. That did help me understand this so much. Okay, listen up, viewers. Before we make ends the stream, remember there's a difference between trying and succeeding is persistence. Every mistake, every struggle is a step closer to mastery. Keep your head in the game and never let frustration win. Also, huge shout out to Nobro Studio. Guys, I messed up the spelling. This is the worst time to get typos. And shout out for helping me push through and understand some tricky parts. You guys are legends. Honestly, guys, that does make sense. Now go take this knowledge and dominate those pawns off stream. Stream energy off, and it's strong. Okay, change the default pawn. I've been asking you to watch some video tutorials every day, bro. Honestly, I did watch it yesterday, but today I might go a bit more in depth because I couldn't find an actual good video. That said, yo, howdy Mochi, I appreciate you joining the stream. But I feel like you actually joined the stream and I was about to end it, guys, because I feel like I'm going to end the stream right now. Alright, guys, so that was pretty much it for the stream. It was kind of disappointing because I couldn't actually move my pawn, but I feel it's going to be 100 times more satisfying once I actually do get to move my pawn. That said, huge shout out to Nobro Studio and also shout out for helping me so much. You guys did actually, they helped me understand a lot of concepts and all that stuff. That said, if you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, help to my algorithm. Sharing makes me smile and subscribing is like a cherry on top. That's it, guys. I did start multi-streaming on Twitch, Kick, YouTube. I will start multi-streaming on Instagram and TikTok as well if I did meet the followers requirement. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link is going to be in the description, and also join the Discord server. That's why I usually talk to you guys, and I was going to say even help you guys out, but guys, I feel like I'm the one that needs help for this concept. That's it. The link will be in the description as well. I think I got a comment. Let's see. Okay, bro, again, I joined you at the end. It's the second I joined when you end XD, guys. It actually does make sense. Are you okay? Good videos? Honestly, I feel like I am kind of okay, but I'm going to be really, really good once I'm done figuring this part out. That said, I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace.